Uh, oh, okay. Everything working. Okay. Welcome back to the Archon quest. It's been a few days of avoided spoilers. I'm trying to hype myself up for this. I was doing schoolwork right before this. But I'm gonna try to be a lot more energetic in this one to the best of my abilities. Can't force it, Things have been hectic lately for me, but
This place looks
okay.
deserted. Guess all the survivors must have evacuated already. All that's left here are signs of death at station.
I wish I didn't have to
Could
take a
Verena
break.
really be here?
I
Let's
wish
try to find her as soon as possible.
I shouldn't have to take a break in between. Well, there she is. So I can feel the full impact of this quest, but I remember everything, basically.
That's Verena, right over there.
Shh!
She really
Stay
is here all on her own.
quiet for now.
Should I just give up?
Oh.
This is all meaningless. What was meant to happen did happen after all. Everyone's dead. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Verena.
Give up, Verena. There's no point in holding out. I'm sorry, but what can I even do other than to repeat meaningless apologies over and over?
Verena.
Who's that?
Don't worry, Verena, it's just us.
So it is you, blonde traveler from another land. Why, I almost thought you were someone from that mob of my ignorant subjects.
Boy.
Come to kneel
Verena
and
always
beg
deflecting.
forgiveness.
Verena, you were crying just now, weren't you? The tear stains on your face are obvious.
What do you mean, tear stains? Who did that uncivilized rabble think they were, disturbing my enjoyment of the arts?
We're getting nowhere with her.
They even dare to tout their Archon! I must teach them a lesson. I can just imagine their twisted and frustrated faces once they realize that I'm nowhere to be found.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and I'm sure Nouvellette and those people from the Maréchal Phantom are freaking out right next to them, too.
You're trying to act tough, Verena.
Of course not.
Yes, you are.
The Hydro Archon's over there. Quick, after her.
Okay.
Verena, those people seem to be after you.
They are? They're just some rabid fans who want to cut the line because they haven't been able to meet me in person. That's against the rules. I can't let them get their way.
Verena just ran off.
Of course. Okay.
Quick, we have to catch up with...
I don't understand what's going on too well. What's the plan here? At all? Okay, you were guys right behind us. Bruh. Okay, whatever. They're literally right behind us, and they
This should be the place, right? Hey, Verena! There's a good hiding spot over here. Quick, come to Paimon before the rest of them catch up to you.
What? What is this place?
Hurry, they're almost here.
Fine. I suppose haste is warranted. Lead the way.
That is right. You fell right into our trap. I think this is part of the plan. I wouldn't know because there's a giant black screen in my face hole. Okay, here we go. Yeah, sure. Whatever, Paimon.
I'm so tired. I totally thought they had caught me. No, I mean, I merely gave in to the sheer enthusiasm they displayed.
This place is not what I'd call soundproof.
You're right.
Yep, that's a good girl.
Uh-oh.
What's happening? The ground's shaking.
Another
Is it an
disaster
earthquake?
just struck, I suspect.
Yeah, a quake of this kind preceded the flooding in Poisson, didn't it?
It can't be. It's happening again.
Well, there's no need to worry too much about that. Neverlette's made some emergency plans, so the evacuation should go a lot smoother this time.
Yeah, I hope you're right. But the people of Poisson, they've already...
Serena finally reached her limit now that she's talking about her actual feelings. She's starting to look far less stiff. You begin to talk amongst yourselves as Serena slowly calms down.
It's true. I've been investigating the prophecy for hundreds of years.
Okay.
I once had informants all over Tevat, searching for clues and feeding information back to me.
Okay.
I
Interesting.
tried all kinds of ways too to hold back the sea. Anything to keep the coastline from advancing.
Uh-huh.
But all my efforts proved to be futile in the end. Really, the truth has been clear to me for a very long time.
Okay.
We
Prophecy
cannot
will...
make an enemy of the divine. No matter what we do, the will of the heavenly principles will have its way, and the prophecy shall be fulfilled.
But even then, you still haven't given up, right?
Give up. I do love the sound of that phrase. It would mean finally coming to terms with fate, but also for me to finally be free.
Interesting, but that would also mean that all hope would disappear.
Indeed. I've thought about giving up so many times, especially after we almost lost Poisson.
Yeah?
Fate is really unreasonable, isn't it? It has no heart and obeys no rules. The prophecy has only just started to come true, and so many people have already lost their lives.
Yeah?
Just now, it all became clear to me. I still don't have the right to come to terms with fate on behalf of everyone else.
Okay.
As long as the final moment hasn't come, it's still not too late. Don't worry.
So what are you gonna do, Farina?
I will keep hope alive for everyone until the very end. Well, that's enough for now. I got the impulse to play the stricken maiden.
Still
but
not being too
honestly,
honest.
Considering my rank and station, that wasn't a good fit at all. Don't take any of what I just said seriously. How could I possibly let Fontaine fall to the whims of trivial prophecy?
We're getting nowhere with her.
Come on! Paimon could have sworn you were actually being honest just now.
We're running out of time. We can't just go back to square one like this. I have to get more information out of her. Farina, you might not have to shoulder this burden alone. Although I don't know what you might be keeping from everyone, your people are more than willing to share your burden with you.
Share my burden. That's impossible. It was fated right from the start that this would be my duty alone.
But even if your burden doesn't need to be shared, you can still choose to confide in someone. Just share it with me. I'm what you'd call a witness.
A witness? Yes. I've heard that you came to Tevat from beyond the stars, yes. In other words, you never belonged here.
Correct.
And if Tevat is, in its entirety, a show on a stage, then you're just a spectator, aren't you?
Yeah.
If that's the case...
There's no time left. Please, Ring, just spit it out. Cutscene? Oh boy, of course, we get interrupted, right as it's... Oh. Lenny? Is that Lenny? Did he use his magic? Wow. That is pretty impressive. Good job, Lenny.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes my opening performance. Now, without further ado, we may proceed to the trial of our god.
So, this is what it is. Yes, you deserve praise for the effort you took to raise the dramatic stakes. Do not forget, however, that I am Fosalor, the god of justice, the embodiment of justice itself.
Yeah.
Does it not
How could we
strike you
forget?
as even the least bit absurd to bring the very concept of justice to trial?
Hey, I'm pretty sure you said Fontaine has the right to judge all gods as well.
May I interpret these words as your refusal to stand trial? In that case, you will have the opportunity to defend your honor through a duel.
Oh, that's a good one.
You would draw your blade against a god? I see. It seems like you have made up your mind.
Wow, then. What?
Paimon can't believe it. She just surrendered.
What the heck is going on? Did I just see an Archon?
Yeah, really.
To a human?
Wow, how utterly humiliating.
Lady Farina, what is the meaning of this?
Yeah.
It would seem that there has been a misunderstanding. To be clear, the raising of both hands is not always an indication of surrender.
Looking for excuses again, huh?
I raised my hands just now to indicate my acceptance of the trial. No duel shall be necessary.
Okay.
I will admit that I've been running away for a long time.
Okay.
I'm sorry, everyone. I was unable to protect the people of Poisson. It is my duty to stand trial for my crimes. You are not the only ones to be disappointed in me. I, too,
Wow,
am
she's actually
extremely disappointed
being
in
honest.
myself. But now, it is time for the Hydro Archon to show you her courage and resolve. I, Farina, will use this trial to show the world the true
Okay, that was from the trailer.
meaning of justice. This time, I will protect you.
Who?
Applaud and rejoice. One of the most outrageous and fantastical arcs known to the opera epiclese is now unfolding before your eyes. Mark my words. This shall be one of the most
Oh, Lord.
exhilarating and brilliant shows ever to grace the stage of Fontaine. The trial of the Hydro Archon, Fosalor, will now begin!
I don't doubt that.
Oh, now we're making history!
And Iblet's like, oh boy.
Why does it feel like Farina just took over the whole thing?
That's because she did.
Also, even though she's still acting super dramatic, she is taking this seriously this time, right?
I think so.
All right, then. Who will be my opponent in this trial?
The court asks the prosecutor to please take the stand.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Is that so? Very well. Then please speak, witness of Tivat, my accuser and fated opponent.
We were so close to getting her to tell us the truth, and it still turned out like this in the end. It's okay, though. As long as we can defeat Farina in court, we'll still have a chance to figure everything out. Cloran's like, yeah, keep walking. I love when he does that. It's so
Also,
cool.
Please allow me to ask, as a final question before the trial begins, just how much work did you do to force me onto this stage?
A lot.
Well, we did do a lot of prep after the meeting that day.
I can go over the tasks assigned to the Spina di Rosula, since they were rather straightforward and easy.
Navia, the president of the Spina di
Yep.
Rosia.
Most of the people who participated in the disturbance this morning were my subordinates.
Ah, of course.
They changed into plain clothes and came to the Opera House as regular audience members, waiting for the perfect opportunity to incite insurrection against you.
Uh-huh.
The people's resentment against their Archon has been building as more and more of the prophecy is fulfilled. A spark was all we needed to turn smoldering anger into a flame.
Makes sense.
Moreover, according to our understanding and analysis of you, when something like that occurred, you would likely flee the scene and head to Poisson by yourself. So, we arranged for a second group. to
Ah,
lie in
so
wait
that's
for
how
you.
they were there.
So, you mean the ones who scoured the settlement for me were also from the Spina?
Yes.
And their goal was to force you to step into the giant magic box so you may personally participate in the greatest magic performance in all of Fontanian history.
There's Lynette. I was wondering where she was.
That's right. That house was
Actually, where's Fremine? He's the only one we haven't seen yet.
As the super ultimate version of the setup that I used when I first performed at the
What a
Hall of
callback.
Epic class, the volume of the box was increased by a whole order of magnitude.
Yeah,
The
it's a
distance
whole
it traversed was the
house.
entire gap between Poisson and Aranias. Its cargo, of course,
Ah,
was an Archon instead of a human.
interesting.
My thanks, Farina. Without your help, we could never have pulled off such an extraordinary performance.
You're welcome?
Of course, this performance was only made possible with Father's support. The House
But
of the
Chewie.
Heart spent a massive amount of
They
labor
just,
and
like,
aura to
ripped it
pull
out of
this
the
off.
ground.
We had to select a location, construct the giant magic box, dig a tunnel, and open up a path through the water. It was a lot of work for all of us.
So, in other words, the earthquake that we felt within the giant magic box was just a normal tremor from the transformation
Yes,
of
that
the
is
whole
correct.
house?
That's right. It wasn't a sign of another disaster to come.
Sorry about that.
Then, I can guess Nervilette and Cloran's parts. You gathered a crowd, prepared a stage, and made sure that the champion duelist would be immediately ready for a fight.
Yep. Claren looks so cool in that.
Also that as soon as I appeared on the stage, the trial may commence without a hitch. Am I right?
Yes, that is correct.
Farina's smarter than she leads on.
Well, Clorand, I must commend you for your courage. Only the most outstanding champion duelist in all of Fontaine would
Yeah.
accept a duel with an Archon
Probably
without
the-
flinching.
Probably the only one who would.
Thank you.
As for you, traveler, I suppose your role was to keep
Uh-huh.
me distracted with conversation once you found me in Poisson. You'd make sure that I didn't notice anything amiss before revealing yourself as my prosecutor once we'd arrived onto the stage.
You guessed wrong.
Oh?
My mission was to give you one last chance. We hoped that you'd share your secret with us before the magic box arrived onto the stage.
Is that so? Then I suppose I must have missed my final chance.
Yeah?
It's fine. It matters not. What's done is done. The stage is already set, so there's no reason to disappoint the audience.
Alright.
Let's see this trial through to the very end.
I wonder how this will go. Yeah, the only thing we can do now is to judge the Hydra Archon. Make it sound so easy, Lumi. Still, I can't help but be a little bothered by that conversation earlier. What did Farina want to say to me right before we arrived on the stage?
Madam Prosecutor, please allow me to pass this along. This is
Okay.
a document that Miss Charlotte applied for and received permission to share with you during the trial. According to her,
Oh.
it should speed up the proceedings.
Huh?
Thanks, Charlotte.
Charlotte wanted to give us something? Oh, so she's here too!
Well, of course she's here. She wouldn't miss this trial for a million more, huh?
Isn't this the exclusive interview that she did with us before? So she's already finished it, huh? Wait, then that means this document is a perfect timeline of everything that's happened ever since we
Oh,
started.
well that's handy.
So
Good on you,
in other words,
Charlotte.
We can refer to this anthology of evidence every time we want to use something from our journey as evidence for an argument.
It's a super practical gift.
Let's quickly confirm the information in it. Just think of it as a refresher, alright?
Okay.
You defeated the Hydro Archon in the very first duels you took part in at the Opera House.
Uh-huh.
That's one for the history books, all right.
Do we get a voiceover for everything? Oh, wait. Opera House and... Okay. Then there's this.
You'd wind up getting to the bottom of the case I'd been following all this time. I guess you could
Yeah, this
also
is
see
Act
this as a
2.
happy coincidence.
So that was Act 1, this is Act 2, this is
For
the
first
end of
time,
Act 2.
Nervilette had a difference of opinion with the Oratrice. Even the Hydro Archon can't figure it out.
Meeting with the
The
Knave.
Tui Harbinger. She's
Yeah, this was
extraordinary
Act
person. Her
4?
instinct must mean something. The Fortress
This
of
was
Anarchy
Act
almost
3?
destroyed in a single day.
Oh,
That I didn't witness that
this was the
personally will always be
primary
such a
DLC. This was
professional regret
Act 4,
driven.
sorry. This was Act 4 as well?
Sure,
Or maybe it was end of Act 3.
Both Child and that whale should have been in the primordial sea.
But we asked him in Act 4, I believe. This was part of Act 5.
To be honest, that still gives me shit. The words of someone as
And this was Act
extraordinary
5
as
as well.
Leech can probably only be truly understood when something surreal happens to you.
Okay. Whenever everything.
The prosecution and the defense are both in position. The trial shall now begin.
Oh boy. This feels very anime.
Come on, Nervilette. There's no need to repeat all the unimportant legalese. Just fast forward to the part where the prosecution lays out my offenses. As the defendant and the lead actress of this performance, I still haven't even been informed of my supposed guilt in all of this.
Okay.
Of course, it is only natural for humans to struggle to understand the actions of a god. However, you will need more than that to convict me of a crime.
Alright.
That's true. But
Oh.
my charge here is unrelated to your conduct as an Archon.
Oh. Lumine's talking, you know it's real.
I would like to charge you as a fraud who's never been the Archon in the first place.
Oh.
Wait, what was that? Lady Farina's a fraud?
Hey, I came here thinking that we were going to try
Huh.
the Hydro Archon for forsaking our duty, but
Interesting. Okay, we're just going right out and saying what the knave told us.
Charge accepted.
Oh, Nervilette. Giving the death
Lady
glare.
Farina, do you plead guilty to the charge? Lady Farina,
I plead not guilty. How can I be guilty? There is no way that I, Focalor, otherwise known as Farina de Fontaine, a member of the Seven and the Regina of all waters, kindreds, peoples, and laws of Fontaine, could be anything other than your true Archon.
Yeah. Even though Lady Farina can be rather eccentric, isn't
Yeah,
it too far
I don't
to
know.
her very identity?
I'm not sure. If she is a god, I feel like there's something different about her than other gods. If she's not, I don't think she's a regular human either.
yeah, I've never questioned her identity either. Sure, Lady Farina can be super irresponsible, but
Huh.
on what grounds does that
I wonder where this
person
will
have to
go.
make such a huge claim?
I have cause to believe that common sense will prevail in this case. Many of the members of the audience have known me as the Hydro Archon ever since they were born. There would be no fooling their memory.
Okay.
See? Even the Oratrice has decided to show me its favor. Are you sure you want to commit to a charge that
Yes.
will never be upheld? If you wish to drop the case, I can promise you as the god of justice that you will not have to face trial for making a false accusation.
Alright.
We will treat everything that's happened as a dramatic spectacle and move on with our lives. What do you say to that?
I have to say, no.
An argument with near impossible odds, huh? We have to not only refute Farina's claims, but also overturn the long.
The people only see you as their Archon because that's their long-held belief.
Well, I tried to give you the chance to surrender. If you must persist, then let me ask. If you believe I'm not the Archon, then what manner of being do you think I am? And if I was not the Archon, then how did I manage to live for over 500 years?
This is true. This is why I said you're definitely not human, because you've lived for 500 years. Got to think carefully. What do we know to be special about Freen exactly? She's special, right? In the head. Irrelevant. I can select that. Yeah, okay. This one. What's the name?
You may be a member of another long-lived race, which would allow you to naturally possess an extended lifespan. And second of all, even if that wasn't the case, there could be other ways to extend your life.
Such as a curse.
Who gave you that idea? Was it the knave? You'd sink so low as to use a harbinger's words against me.
What? It doesn't matter who gave us the info. What matters is the veracity of the claim.
Curse. I once thought it possible that the aura of an Archon might naturally resemble a type of curse.
Well, I think you're a little biased as one of the sovereign dragons.
In light of this claim, perhaps what I sensed was not your divinity, but a curse after all.
You sensed it too, huh, Neverlet?
So Farina, instead of an Archon, could just be a cursed human.
Lady Farina is actually a human?
Well, it is true that it's extremely difficult to tell humans and gods apart just by looking at them. It's not impossible.
I wonder where this is going. I don't feel like it's the curse of Conria. That wouldn't make much sense.
Well, don't start celebrating too early now. Even if I have been carrying a curse like you said, how does that prove that I am merely a human being?
That is true.
Besides,
You could be a cursed Archon.
everyone knows that the main difference between a human and a god is the possession of authority. Gods can do what humans cannot. That's why they're worshipped as gods.
That is also
For
pretty
centuries,
true.
Manifestations of my authority have served the nation of Fontaine. One need only to turn their eyes towards the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal in this very opera house, or consider the endemnitium that is used in every aspect of life.
You bring a valid point. Wait. That one trial proves the opposite. Farina actually has no control over the Oratrice at all. Child's conviction. Ah!
You tried to reference the Oratrice, but weren't you as confused as all the rest of us when the Oratrice declared Child to be guilty without any proof?
Yeah, I don't believe you know anything about the Oratrice.
For that by now.
Didn't I make myself clear at the time? The decisions of the gods are naturally difficult for humans to comprehend. There is no need to provide an explanation.
Lady Farina, I believe a reminder of your current circumstances is in order. While the court is in session, the principles of justice and the law must come before all else. While you are an Archon, you are also first and
Let's
foremost
speak
a
in
defendant
facts.
in this trial. You will prove yourself unable to defend against the prosecution's charges if you continue to withhold vital information against the rules of the court.
Yeah.
I never thought you'd use that kind of rhetoric against me.
Well, dire situations call for dire... Yeah.
That was no trick of rhetoric, Lady Farina. I've merely
Yeah.
reiterated the rules of the court. Rules that all should respect and follow.
Go get her, Novelet. Stand your ground.
So, you neither knew why Child was declared guilty, nor did you understand the structure and
Yeah, I
operation
believe
of
she
the
does.
Oratrice.
I believe she did not create it.
Instead of having been
At all.
created by you, the manifestations of authority you mentioned have been made by the real Hydro Archon, haven't they?
The real Hydro Archon. Well, now you're really losing me. It is true that I did not know why the Oratrice gave out a guilty verdict that day. But the Oratrice handed out that verdict unilaterally. And it has been operating independently ever
Okay.
since it was first created.
That's fair, but the fact that you still don't you haven't like proven that you understand it.
You can't argue that just because a divine creation is flawed, that the god behind it must also be no god at all.
Okay, that's a fair argument. She's actually given pretty fair argument.
Throwing out all kinds of excuses. Seems like she's confident that we won't be able to produce proof that she has no power over the Oratrice.
Sure, we can put the Oratrice aside for now. But then, Miss Farina, could you give us a brief demonstration of your power as an Archon?
My power as an Archon.
many ordinary citizens in the audience. How can I just carelessly demonstrate the formidable power of an Archon?
If that poses a concern, I'm prepared to extend my protection to the audience.
Okay.
You don't need to go that far.
Okay. A brief demonstration of power over Hydro should be quite harmless. Surely an Archon can at least match the capacities of a human with a vision.
Aren't you the Hydro Archon? Or is it that you can't even wield the power of Hydro, much less the authority of a god?
Indemnitium! Yes! It's all because of Indemnitium! All Archons derive their power from the faith of the people, and I've converted the people's faith in justice into Indemnitium!
Alright.
Thus did I give up all of my divine power to provide everyone with energy for their daily lives. Have you ever seen a more magnanimous god?
Isn't that?
Yeah, really.
Yeah, no matter how generous an Archon can be, how could they give up all their power? Can a god with no power even still...
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. Ooh.
Seems like nobody's buying Farina's excuse.
Hey, come now, everyone. Please don't stare at me as if I was a liar. I'm still the same Farina you knew, right? The one that you loved. Shouldn't you want to believe in me?
Uh-huh. Yeah, no.
You've got to believe me.
If what the prosecutor said is true, she really has committed a grave offense.
Yeah.
Did she deceive all of us? And all of our parents and grandparents too? And all of our ancestors? Ever since they were born?
Enough!
Farina's in deep shit now.
Enough. Tell me then, if I'm not the real Hydro Archon, then who is? If you have no
Okay,
evidence of another
that's fair.
Hydro Archon's existence, nor can you find anyone who can back up their claim to be such, then what grounds have you to say that I'm not actually the real deal?
Wow, she came up with yet another argument.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea who else could be. I thought, so originally I thought the Egeria was just still alive and was like maybe in the oratories or something. However, I didn't know that that one area in Sumeru, the Amrita pool and all that stuff, was connected to Egeria. I had no idea about that. They might have mentioned that in the actual like quest with the Pari, but that quest was so boring to me that I just kind of, I either didn't understand what they were trying to say because it was just so much dialogue and confusing to me, or I skipped over it and didn't know what the hell they were talking about. We can't prove that she isn't the Archon. We can try to prove that she is just a human. And if she's only human... Okay. Okay. That's not gonna be it. That's a little extreme, I think. Ew, that might be a little extreme.
It has been established that all Fontanians can dissolve in water from the primordial sea.
Yeah.
And that means...
Since you insist on claiming to be a god and not a human, then there's a method that you can use right here and now to eliminate all suspicions of you being the latter.
Oh, this is rough.
Miss Navia, please apply to serve as a temporary attorney for the prosecution before addressing the court. Though you act in partnership with the prosecutor, you must still adhere to proper procedure.
Yeah, Navi, you've kind of interrupted way too many court sessions.
Super sorry, Monsieur Chief Justice. I swear this really will be the last time that
Uh-huh.
I return. Now, I've brought some seawater from Poisson. As everyone knows, a massive flood struck the area not long ago, taking many lives, including those of some of my closest friends. So, Miss Farina, would you dare to touch some of the seawater?
Oh.
To believe that you are indeed the real Hydro Archon, touching the seawater would have no effect on you. All it should do is strengthen your case.
Okay.
But if you don't dare to touch it, then we would have basically proved the reverse.
Yeah?
Oh, and I must remind you that after the disaster at Poisson, nobody wants to see any more people dissolve. do hope you'll act prudently and choose the simpler path of admitting guilt.
Navia from the Spina
Huh.
de Sula. The Spina has governed Poisson for many years.
Wow.
I guess her
We're
suggestion-
really just jumping the gun and being like,
If Lady Farina
Huh.
is indeed just a human, she's probably Fontanian like all the rest of us. Would she
Yeah.
really dare to try?
okay, what will Farina do? Farina?
Lady Farina, this test has been unilaterally proposed by the prosecution. As it falls outside the realm of standard court proceedings, you possess the right to decline participation.
Okay.
Well, of course he had to tell her that. But refusing to participate is basically the same as a confession of guilt.
Yeah, it kind of is in this
She's
case.
just staring at the water without saying a single word. It really does seem like she's quite terrified of it. That could only mean...
What's going on? Is she really planning to...
What is she gonna do?
Due to the inherent risk of the test, Lady Farina, you may...
Hey!
She actually...
I'm fine. Look at me, everyone.
Wow.
My hand is still here. I haven't been dissolved. Will you believe me now?
Okay.
I am your Archon.
I don't...
Nothing like a normal human who would fall apart as soon as they touch this water. Really? Was this not the most obvious
Okay.
thing in the world?
There's something still off about this.
If you're present, Miss Siegewing, please come forward and attend to the defendant.
Siege, Win? Don't be nervous. It'll just take a few seconds. Let me see. That should be enough.
Please announce the results of your evaluation to the court, Miss Siegewing.
As everyone doubtlessly saw, Miss Farina was displaying symptoms of hyperventilation and flushed skin.
Oh.
She was experiencing the adverse effects of exposure to primordial seawater. The extent to which she was affected is the same as other humans when exposed to primordial seawater of a similar concentration.
Oh.
Thank you, Miss Siegewing. Lady Farina, you may return to the defendant's stand.
Oh, wait. What did she just say? I didn't get dissolved. Shouldn't that be enough to prove my innocence?
Well, considering your tendency to run from your problems, we did originally prepare a direct sample of the seawater around Poisson. However, after extensive discussion, we exchanged it for a sample that is not concentrated enough to dissolve an actual human. After all, on the off chance that something entirely unexpected
Like what
might
happened
occur,
just now?
we don't want anyone else to lose their life to the sea.
Yeah, so out of regard for Farina's life, you secured a low-concentration sample and asked the head nurse to serve as an expert witness. It's a great thing that the direct sample wasn't actually used. Farina could have...
I can't believe... You...
Oh boy, this is getting interesting. What's really going on here? Farina can't have not known the consequences of touching that water as a human. This is too unlike how she usually acts, unless it's actually more important for her to keep up her facade than to save her own life. But hadn't she given up on everything a long time ago?
Listen to me, everyone. Please don't give me such cold and disdainful looks. What happened just now didn't prove a single thing.
I'm really struggling to understand, like, what happened to you, Farina? Who are you?
Conclusively prove that an Archon can't also be affected by the primordial seawater. Also, if I was really just a human, why would I dare to just put my hand in that kind of water?
They're just like, I don't know anymore with you.
Please.
Oh, she's crying.
Just listen to me. I swear, I really am your Archon.
Even Nuvolet's like, Arena, I'm disappointed.
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway anyone.
Yeah.
The odds are just too stacked against her now.
They really are.
With all the things that have been said, Paimon doesn't think only left for Farina to win.
I believe the time for arguments and presentation of evidence has come to an end. If there are no objections, we will move on to the final judgment.
Oh boy. Okay. Oh, poor Farina. I feel bad for her. I just don't understand. And the fact that she's just lying and not telling the truth just makes this really hard. Oh.
In my capacity as Chief Justice, I shall now render judgment on Farina's misrepresentation of herself as the Archon of Fontaine. As a human who knowingly deceived her fellow citizens, Farina is...
She's lonely. She's so lonely. Oh. Sitting alone on her throne, crying.
We shall now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal to render the final verdict on the charges.
Okay. Alright. Here we go.
According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal, Farina is...
Oh?
Well, what's wrong?
You're just declared to be innocent?
No. The Oratrice also displays a guilty verdict.
Isn't that correct then?
However, the exact wording of the verdict is thus: the Hydro Archon to be punished via the death sentence.
Whoa, here it is.
The death sentence?
That's actually one of the available sentences? I've always thought
So,
that was
okay, they never had a death sentence. I thought that might be the case. It was always just exile.
The one and only time the death sentence has been handed out at the court. And it's been given to the very person we've worshipped as the god of justice?
Huh.
What an unexpected twist.
Farina's been sentenced to death by the Oratrice? We just wanted to use the trial to show her the seriousness of things so she'd tell us the truth. How did things escalate this quickly?
Huh.
This outcome is indeed quite strange. According to Fontaine's current definitions of justice, as well as its recommendations for criminal sentences, is this sentence really appropriate for the crimes that have been committed?
I don't know.
Yeah, even Vachet wasn't sentenced to death by the Oratrice. You know, the real evil mastermind behind the serial
What's more strange is, instead of Farina, the Oratrice rendered judgment on the Hydro Archon.
Indeed. Not only is Farina's sentence overly excessive, the very point of our trial today was also to prove that Farina has never been the Hydro Archon in the first place.
Yeah.
But now, the Oratrice seems to have deliberately invoked the title of the Hydro Archon.
It's so confusing. I don't understand. She's probably cursed, but she's the Hydro Archon. But she's not the Hydro Archon. What is she? Cutscene, please? Cutscene? Cutscene?
Excuse me.
Oh.
If
There's
I may interrupt.
There's Fremine. I was wondering where he was.
The trial's still going?
Fremine! You finally made it. I assume this means you've completed your mission?
Okay.
Any mission Father assigns to me will always be top priority.
Alright, Fremine. With some help from the other two, Fremine brings a stone slate.
Is that the first prophecy slate?
What is that? That's Egeria. And the Oceanids. And that's not Farina in there. I don't know who that is supposed to be.
Huh. So the knave privately arranged for Fremine to try and find the missing slate.
I looked everywhere and finally found it at the bottom of the sea.
Huh.
It took me a long time to get around some dangerous stretches of water. But has the trial already concluded?
Don't worry, the mystery hasn't been solved yet.
Doesn't that mean I've come too late?
No, Fremine, you're fine, buddy. You did great.
Father will be disappointed in me.
It's still not too late for you to shine.
Thank you for your hard work, Mr. Fremine. Please allow me to review the record left on the slate.
Okay. I know that.
Traveler, I believe that you have already seen the other existing slates. I would like you to come here and confirm their contents.
Yes. I will help you out, Monsieur Nivelet.
Huh?
This looks like the previous Hydra Archon releasing her divine power, turning the Oceanians into human beings.
I believe I've now made sense of the Hydro Archon's crime. It has to do with Fontaine's lost history.
Okay.
Huh? Isn't the Hydro Archon just guilty of deceiving her people? Oh, wait, no, that's Farina, and we've already proven that she's not the Hydro Archon. So when you say Hydro Archon, do you mean the real Hydro Archon we've been kind of talking about?
In truth, everything that you've encountered in Fontaine up until this point can be traced back to the contents of the
Okay,
stone
before they
seals.
say anything, I want to take a guess right here and now. So, we know of Oceanids, and they all left Fontaine, because they did not accept Farina as the new Archon. I'm going to guess, then, that Farina is an Oceanid. Maybe. Why they left, I don't know. I'm not, that's my
However,
guess.
I'm uncertain as to how much sense they currently make to you.
And the association with the contents of the slates and the events in real life.
Let's try to recall the contents of the
I don't know, I'm a little
stone
confused.
slate. Paimon will do her best to help you remember.
Okay, going a little think bubble, or not? Check, oh, okay, not the think bubble, this thing. I haven't done this in a while. Select to check the descriptions of the stone slates to extract key information from. Find scenarios related to stone slate contents and the incidents recorded in the interview notebook. You can verify. As the verification process continues, the fountain water level in the menu interface will rise. When you have finished verifying all the stone slates, the truth behind prophecy shall be revealed. Okay.
The first stone slate describes what you just said. It seems to show the previous Hydra Archon using her divine power, and then the Oceanids turn into humans.
Okay.
Does that mean that Fontainians are transformed Oceanids? Oh, Paimon wasn't expecting that. But if Oceanids can turn into humans, then perhaps this process can be reversed as well.
Okay, so I don't... It kind of makes sense. I don't know. It's hard to think about. I don't think they're just straight up Oceanids. Because there was a bunch of people in Fontaine. Before that, like the tribes, and then Egeria came. So maybe it's not that they're all just Oceanids. Maybe they're like crossbred, like kind of like how humans and Neanderthals over time like kind of crossbred. So maybe they're like that. It's my guess.
The second stone slate shows Celestia floating in the sky, and the Hydra Archon and her people worshipping it together. But
Okay.
heaven still brought judgment down upon
I still don't understand this, like, sin that she committed.
the point when the Hydra Archon and the Fontainians were branded with their original sin. Does this mean that the original sin and the Hydra Archon sin are the same thing?
Yeah.
The third slate shows the
I think
Hydra
so.
Archon sinking into the sea surrounded by many people. That reminds Paimon, didn't we also watch that happen to someone else? Well, the fourth slate is the
Okay.
prophecy the Fontainians have been talking about. People dissolving into the sea, the Hydra Archon crying on her throne, and so on.
Yeah.
We didn't believe that such a crazy disaster could happen at first, did we? But after that incident, it was just a question of when and not if.
Correct. Alright. The real events related to the prophecy. Verify truth. Okay. It turns out... go back. It seems to show the former Hydra Archon using divine power to turn Oceanids to people. Dissolve into water. Just... Judge guilty. Cups. Now you fell into the water. Okay, that might actually be it. What is it? Okay, no, that's N. This. Really? Okay. Hydra Archon to be punished by the death sentence. Bauchets then. Okay,
We know
yeah.
from the case of the serial disappearances of young women that Fontanians can be dissolved in primordial seawater, and this might be
The first Stone
reason
Slate tells us that. Oh,
Fontanians
sorry, I
can
didn't mean to
dissolve.
skip that. I didn't get. Okay, hold on. Becoming Oceanians, proof of their origin. Shows Celestia floating in the sky and the worship together, but still brought judgment. Okay, so it certainly happened, but let's try this one. Yeah, okay.
Perhaps what is about to take place has all happened before. The true sin of the Hydro Archon that Nervilette mentioned, and the original sin cast down on the people of Fontaine by Celestia, as recorded on the stone slates.
Damn, Celestia is ruthless. A sentence never before passed in the court at Hendon. Kind of sin merits such a verdict. It shows a Hydro Archon sinking into the sea, surrounded by many people. This maybe? Okay, no. Oh, to the water. Okay.
Not as simple as falling into the sea. The stones.
Whenever you fell into the sea, your consciousness was subject to judgment.
In the sea. Could that be alluding to the same thing?
Okay. And lastly, I think it's the verdict, right? Yeah, okay.
Prophecy from the stone slates found its way into society, but not many people believed it at first. The fortress of Meropide was nearly flooded with primordial seawater, which we know can cause Fontanians to dissolve.
Yes.
It seems increasingly likely that the prophecy may come true.
It will
if
come
we
true.
hadn't dealt with it in time, things could have gone very badly.
All right.
They'll dissolve into the primordial sea but won't cease to exist. Their essence will flow in the seawater, converge, and take the form of an Oceanid.
Okay, let's see what.
The Hydro Archon was sentenced to death in court, shocking everyone present. Perhaps this means that her sin was actually Fontaine's original sin. Navia fell into the water inside those ruins, and she nearly dissolved. She was surrounded by the people of Poisson in a court within her consciousness, and was forced to take part in a trial meant to make her stay.
Okay.
The eruption of the primordial sea at the fortress of Meropide was the surest sign that the prophecy was about to come to pass no matter what. The prophecy's contents can all be verified by recent events. If we combine what we know together, loads of
Yeah. Okay. Let's hear it. I'm kind of confused. I kind of understand, but kind of confused. So let's hear it. Is Nervilette gonna give us his interpretation of things?
Huh? Oh, Paimon gets it now! So that's how you can make sense of it. But then it feels like we're going to have to share some truly shocking revelations.
Okay.
Let's hear them.
The first slate reveals that Fontanians are not real humans.
Incredible. Linny, did you hear that?
We're not real humans.
All Fontanians were originally created by the late previous Hydro Archon, with Oceanids as their basis. The evidence for that can be found in how only Fontanians can dissolve in primordial seawater, and how all the girls Vacher dissolved were also turned into Oceanids. Oh, and according to Navia, when she was about to get dissolved, she also saw everyone gathered around for a trial, all of them in the shape of Oceanids.
Second slate reveals the crime of the Hydro Archon was her creation of Fontanians from Oceanics. But why is that a crime? I don't understand.
Of the first slate, that she probably angered Celestia by creating humans without prior permission. That could also explain
I guess.
why the Oratrice judged the Hydro Archon to be
I can
guilty,
kind of understand.
to account for that ancient sin.
The only reason I can understand this as being a sin, I think it's stupid either way. I mean, Celestia is stupid. They're just kind of ruthless and tyrannical. That's the word. But the way I can understand this is Archons get their powers from the people, and if she's creating people, she's giving herself more power without authority. She's also, you know, I don't know. It's my understanding of things. Because Archons can grant power, but they can't grant, like, life, right? I think that's not allowed. Or maybe they just can't, like, grant human. I don't know.
The Hydro Archon's true sin was creating us?
And yet, after many hundreds of years, the Hydro Archon's creations have turned around to try to judge the Archon within the Opera Epiclese.
Huh. Yeah.
The twists of history are often the most unexpected of all.
As for the third slate, I'm still convinced that it should come after the fourth slate.
Yeah, isn't the image here just like when Navia fell into the sea? So wouldn't it be trying to show the image of the Hydro Archon also falling into the sea once the prophecy
The
is
fourth slate
fulfilled in the fourth
depicts the fulfillment of the prophecy as it's already widely known.
In the end, the people will all be dissolved
Yeah.
into the waters. And
Okay, I don't need to hear that for the 15th time.
You've made some keen deductions. I must say, given how much you still don't know, it is
Yeah.
impressive that you've already managed to connect so many pieces of the truth. However, while you were able to decode all the information on the slates, they've also been etched with an additional layer of hidden information using a different power source.
Oh?
When we were at the ruins, I tried to decipher the hidden information recorded in the slates. But since we only had 3 slates at the time, I was unable to come to a full conclusion.
Okay.
Now that the slate collection is complete, I shall make another attempt to decipher the narrative recorded within. If everything goes well, we should finally be informed.
Alright, Bruno, what's your say in all this? You've been quite silent.
Well? Did you get it?
I believe I should share this truth not only with you, but with all the people of Fontaine as well.
Okay.
I'll try to briefly summarize it for you. Your hypotheses regarding the origin of Fontainians and the sin of the Hydro Archon were both correct. In the Fontaine of old, the previous Hydro Archon sensed the yearning of her Oceanid familiars for life on land.
Okay. I understand. To a degree.
The Oceanids were enamored with the beauty and romanticism of human beings, and wishing to have those experiences for themselves, expressed to the Hydro Archon their desire to become of a similar kind. However, even though water as an element is intricately linked with the power of life,
Yeah.
the Hydro Archon, as one of the 7, did not possess the authority to create a new form of human life.
Okay. Yeah. So I think I guess right with that. She didn't have the authority to actually create human life. She can create other life, but not human life, because that's how they get their powers, through human belief in them.
Not one to give in, she eventually found a way to create permanent humanoid bodies for her familiars by appropriating the power of this planet's primordial sea.
Okay.
She poured primordial seawater into the Oceanid's blood vessels, creating humanoid mimics in the process. But if Fontainians were to ever come into direct contact with water from the primordial sea, the power within their bodies would escape these artificial restraints and return to the sea.
Oh.
As a result, their forms would collapse, and they would be reverted to their original forms as Oceanids.
So they don't die. They don't... Okay. So it's like a chemical reaction almost. They have primordial seawater in them, but touching more will kind of like reverse their blood flow almost, and...
Of course, the Hydro Archon never received permission from the heavenly principles to create a new human race.
Huh.
And thus, the Hydro Archon and all of her creations came to shoulder the original sin of appropriating the power of the primordial sea.
Very cinematic.
That is the true history of how the people of Fontaine first came into being.
So we were all Oceanids before we turned into human beings?
That's way too much information for me. I think I'm just going to pretend that I never heard a single thing. Wait, but if that's the truth, we can't let the Hydro Archon be sentenced to death. After all, her only sin was creating us.
Yeah.
This really might be too much information
Yeah.
for your regular Fontainian, but it does answer a lot of our
I still don't think they're like straight up Oceanids. I feel like there's no way, right? Because I remember there's people in Fontaine before Egeria with King Remus.
Alas, your hypothesis regarding the
And
third
she
and fourth
brought them all
stone
together?
slates was inaccurate. The slates' respective positions are, in fact,
So they are in the right order?
A key point of the visual on the third slate is how all the individuals depicted in the water are humans rather than Oceanids.
Okay.
They have not been dissolved, which implies that the water depicted in this slate is not water from the primordial sea. The nation of Fontaine is the nation of Hydro, as well as the nation of Trials and Justice. Instead of being the literal element, the water in the scene symbolizes judgment and justice.
Ah.
You may also recall Navia's experience. When she fell into the sea, her consciousness was surrounded by that of many others who intended to hold a trial to determine her fate.
Yeah?
Therefore, the meaning of the third slate is that the people of Fontaine shall try the Hydro Archon at the court of justice.
It can't be.
Yes, it refers to our present situation.
I think I'm following now. So, what you're saying is, even though we decided to put on this trial to avoid fulfilling the prophecy,
We are merely just continuing it and escalating it.
in truth, everything we've done has happened exactly as the prophecy foretold. So now, it seems,
Yeah.
we're the ones making sure it comes true.
What should we do?
I don't know. It feels like there's no way out of this.
Huh. No matter what, the prophecy will be fulfilled. Is this what it feels like to be a prisoner? of
Interesting. So I was under the impression that Egeria salty about something when she died, and she initiated this prophecy. Up until this act, it was Egeria actually did not want this prophecy to come true at all, and in fact, it came from Celestia. Interesting.
Does that mean the scene in the fourth slate will also be fulfilled soon?
Traveler, I would like to point out another small fallacy in your deductions. About the fourth slate, you probably thought that the eruption of primordial seawater beneath the fortress of Meropide served as the surest sign that the prophecy was about to come to pass, yes? However, I believe that rather than being a sure sign, that eruption could in fact only be a small warning of something far worse to come.
Oh?
As for the root cause of the catastrophe, I believe you've already encountered it once before.
Wait, could it be? The true source of the catastrophe.
This eruption was just a small warning of the things to come. We must find the root cause
Oh,
of
the
the
music.
disaster.
I feel like I'm about to fight Rayquaza in Pokemon. Prophesized deaths will likely spread from here.
That doesn't sound...
Okay, wait, what? Hold on. Prophesized deaths will likely spread from here. Wait, can I... Or we're just doing this one? Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah.
It is both dream and reality.
The whale.
If we're talking about a true culprit, that could only be that thing inside the primordial sea, right?
Yes.
The truth, the original sin, the trial, and the root cause of the disaster.
Alright. Here we go. Oh! It's about to happen, isn't it? Oh! Oh, this is like Fatui style music. Nivelette going main character mode. Oh, but he's not strong enough. Come on, Nivelette. Yes! Let's go! Oh, that's like Child's like a music too. This is so cool. Has he been fighting this thing the whole time? Oh. Tartaglia is just one of the coolest characters ever. I'm sorry, but... Okay, it's retreating. Oh, he's hurt. Oh, his foul legacy is breaking. I love this remix of his music. That was so cool. Tartaglia is one of the best characters in the game. I'm sorry, but that was awesome. I need that music. I need that. Hopefully they release that music.
Was that the huge whale you saw in your dream?
I'd wager that it's also the one that Child saw when he was young.
So we've met it at last. I understand very well why it is chosen to make an appearance here. That whale does not belong to Tevat. It is a monster that has traversed the stars, weeping all the while.
Oh?
It has been greedily consuming the energy from the planet's primordial sea, using it to grow.
Huh.
That is the main cause for the rising sea levels.
Interesting.
And once it has finished consuming all of the energy contained within the sea, its next step will be...
You said that when the Hydro Archon first created Fontanians out of Oceanids,
yeah,
she filled their blood vessels with primordial seawater.
Precisely. That whale finds the blood of Fontanians nigh impossible.
Oh, that makes sense why he was trying to eat them.
Therefore, when it left the primordial sea, it decided to make its next stop a packed opera house full of food.
Wow, it's like a
Food
shark
for
to...
Fontanians.
Huh, it's like a shark more than a whale, almost.
Right? In that case, won't it come back to target the people again once it's managed to recover its strength?
Yeah?
That is correct. Indeed, it is more accurate to say that we should thank that Harbinger for buying us some time. Without him, the whale would have likely come onto land far
He looks
sooner.
like messed up, though. I feel bad
From
for
the way
him.
He looked. He must have been fighting the creature for
Yeah,
quite a
he's
long
probably
time.
been fighting it since, like, we went to the fortress. Or before that, even.
Battle maniac. We've always known that he had a special connection with that whale, but we definitely didn't expect it to help us out like this.
Yeah, really.
Anyway, now that we know that
I wonder what his
the whale
connection
is
to
the
it
actual
is, like,
cause of the
specifically.
disaster recorded in the prophecy, all we need to do to stop the prophecy
I
would
think
be
he has, like, a
to
portion of
defeat
its
it
power,
outright.
almost.
It is too late.
What do you mean?
It had already absorbed too much of the primordial sea's energy before we could notice it. At this point, it has become practically integrated with the sea itself.
Oh.
Even if the entirety of Tevat were to be destroyed, it could still survive and swim off towards some other world.
That's not something I will accept. We've already done everything we can, and we even found the true culprit. We've come so far.
So it's kind of like us, as in it traveled from another world. Interesting.
That's just not fair.
Indeed, that's not how a grand performance should end.
I'll fight it to the end, no matter what.
You go, Clarion and Lenny and Navia.
Fulfilled no matter what.
Farina, you better help out too. And Farina, you better... We still haven't figured out who Farina is.
The prophecy. Yes, what has been prophesied will be fulfilled. You may view such things as the history of the future.
Okay. After everything, it still turned out like this. We couldn't fight against fate. But wait. But if this is all about fate...
Just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen from the perspectives of the gods, could things be happening in hidden corners where the god's gaze does not fall? Ultimately,
Yeah.
fate shall serve as your only guide, no matter what will happen in Tevat's future. All you need to do is to play your part.
Okay. Could it be that even if the prophecy will be fulfilled, there will still be a way to save everyone? Did I miss something? Yeah. What's with Farina? That's what I missed. Wait, I forgot about Farina. What was it that she wanted to say to me at the last one in that giant magic box? What is her real secret? The aura trees.
What's happening with the aura trees?
I think it's angry.
It is preparing to carry out the death sentence.
Oh, Farina. Lumine talking this much is amazing. I'm so glad she's talking so much more now. Whoa. Huh. Wait, what? Okay, yeah, I forgot about this giant, like, thing before. Oh. Oh.
You.
Okay. Please explain. I like your outfit.
Sorry. That shocked expression on your face is
That's a
just
different
too
voice.
amazing. I couldn't help myself.
I figured this was Skirk's voice, but who are you?
You are not Farina. Who are you?
Ah, the sweet
Postalor.
sound of being
Okay.
brilliant. Marvelous. A sure sign that my attempt to deceive everyone was a resounding success. But to answer your question, I am Focalor. You know, the god.
Focalor. Why did you deceive us?
So, okay, so was I... I might have actually been half right. So was Focalor inside the Oratrice this whole time?
Oh, that wasn't my goal, of course. Goodness, no. But I had to fool everyone else too, if I was to stand any chance of deceiving the heavenly principles.
Oh.
Deceiving the heavenly principles.
It's all because of that pernicious prophecy. Dreadful, wasn't it? Everyone doomed to dissolve. Fontaine condemned to be flooded.
I'm very confused. So, yeah, let's just listen. I don't know.
In fact, one was positively bemused when that problem was thrust upon me by my dearest predecessor. That's the former Hydro Archon Egeria for the uninitiated. It hardly gets more disastrous than a preordained national catastrophe, now does it?
Yeah?
She knew full well that the prophecy would surely come to pass. And as one of the seven, she also knew full well that one defies the heavenly principles at one's peril.
Okay.
So yes, as you have no doubt surmised, it was a rather impossible situation that I found myself in.
I love the music. It's so heavenly.
I spent a terribly long time mulling it over, alone on the ocean floor. And I was almost growing barnacles by the time I finally realized there was only one possible solution to this confounding conundrum.
Okay.
I had to outwit the heavenly principles, allow the prophecy to be fulfilled, ostensibly at least, while saving everyone at the same time.
Okay.
I'm a genius, I know. I can only assume that's why Egeria chose me as her successor. Although, looking back now, it was hardly the inheritance one dreams of. Between the task of saving the nation,
I'm so, like,
the quotidian duties of the Hydro Archon,
this is so surreal.
not to mention the original sin of creating a new race of humans, I dare say she left me quite a colossal mess to clean up.
Yeah?
But one can only play the hand one is dealt. I did not choose this, any more than I chose to be one of her Oceanid familiars.
Okay, so at least Focalor is an Oceanid familiar.
So you were also once one of the Oceanids, transformed into a human by Egeria's hand.
Yes, I was. I always dreamed of becoming human. And I still do, even now. In my eyes, to be human is to be part of the greatest opera ever known. After becoming a god, I separated my divinity from my body and spirit.
Oh.
Only a self that was as naive and bewildered as my past self on her first day as a human being.
Okay, so... Farina was her body and her actual... So Farina was the stand-in, but she had no real power whatsoever. And the real Fos... So she is the real Focalor, but her consciousness of divinity was separated from it. And so she was just Farina.
The me you see before you now is that divinity. And the human counterpart I left behind, I named Farina.
Okay.
She could feel joy, sorrow, and everything in between. She could be as vain and conceited, or as meek and vulnerable as she wished.
Okay.
Her strengths were of a kind only a human could possess, as were her shortcomings.
So she really was just a human.
But in my eyes, Farina's humanity was what made her perfect.
Aw.
She was perfectly human in every way. The person I always wanted to be.
Okay.
Anyway, so then I cursed her.
Okay. How casual.
All part of the plan, of course. The plan to deceive the heavenly principles. Do you still remember the final scene of the prophecy? The Hydra Archon alone, weeping on her throne.
Yeah.
In order that the prophecy might appear fulfilled, I invited Farina to be an actress, to play the part of the Hydro Archon in the prophecy.
Oh.
Under the curse I placed on her, so long as I, Focalor's divinity, continued to exist, she could not die. But nor was she free to live her life in the pursuit of
Interesting. So she basically, like, cheated the system and cheated the prophecy by separating herself.
She was forced to take the stage in the opera house, to embrace the role of leading lady, to forever play the part of the god from the prophecy, all to create a deceitful appearance of that prophecy.
What a terrible fate.
I suppose now you probably understand why your court is called the Opera Epiclese.
But Farina is only human, isn't she? Even though she has had a long life, her mind is no stronger than that of another ordinary human being.
That is 100% true.
Cannot begin to fathom what she has had to endure. It must have been torture for her.
Yeah.
It has indeed. And although she is, in a sense, me in human form, I most definitely owe her an apology for it.
Yeah.
It's been 500 years. And all along, she's been playing her part in the most unimaginably long, unbearably lonely, and agonizingly painful.
Like I said earlier, Farina is extremely lonely. So where are I and Farina? Okay, we look like we're still in the courthouse. Came into contact with Farina tears. Tears often contain a being's strongest emotions. With sufficiently strong hydrosensitivity, I can form an emotional connection, just like I did with that Aoshina and Fountain of Lucine. Wait, could this be Farina's inner world? Farina, what's she doing on stage? Wait a moment. It probably isn't Farina. It's like a reflection of her inner self. If I can directly speak to that self, I might be able to easily get what I wanted to know. I came here for answers. Either way, this opportunity is not to be missed. Let me try talking to her. Okay. Interesting. How do I...
Incoming.
The power of coaching. I don't know how else I was supposed to get up here. Was there a staircase? Oh, there is. Yeah, I like my way better. Okay.
Oh? Who permitted you to come onto this stage? Now, I understand your admiration for my august self, but I must ask you to keep to the rules.
Come on, it's me.
All right. It is not my
Don't look at
intent
me,
to
don't look at
reprimand
me.
you.
Oh,
There
this is
no need
weird.
to state your name. Just be off with you. Do not distract me from my performance.
I don't see an audience here.
Oh, do not jest. Can you not feel it?
Feel what?
I am Focalor. The
That
eyes
way,
of
I can
countless
become myself
Fontanians
again.
are upon me. I
Ooh,
must at
I
all
like this.
times display the
This is
utmost
super
elegance
cool.
and nobility.
I love the like hidden like things they've been doing with Fontaine, like the I don't know, it's very interesting. What sort of resolve must she have that her inner self and subconscious would have such an impenetrable defense? I love Fontaine's writing. It's so like just emotionally devastating and I love it. I have to find a way. Turn off all the spotlights. Oh boy.
Dear audience, the performance is
A
experiencing
cry without
a
echo.
technical
Shackles.
difficulty, but worry not. The guards shall resolve it soon enough.
Oh well they now.
Delve into the field of
So quiet. Too quiet.
speed of light.
This is just eerie. Very eerie, actually. Alright, next spotlight.
Hey, what gives?
A silence without end. Chains.
Watching me, you know.
I love the symbolism.
Wait, where are the guards? Guards!
I love the symbolism that's going on right now. This is really cool.
With sword comes shadow. Incoming. Time for a light show.
This is very eerie, but okay. Ah, okay. No, let's not shoot me, shall we? Ah, okay, that's fine.
I see everything.
Don't blink. Cut to the chase.
Okay. And last one. Watch Farina's performance. All the spotlights, Farina's heart, they must have symbolized the eyes of the people on her. Speaking of which, I think I just received some sort of signal. Was that her true voice? My ticket. When did that end up here? Okay. I see. By the way, it looks like the show's about to begin. In that case, show me how you truly feel, Farina. Scene 1, before a mirror, Farina. Okay. Oh. I'm Farina. Okay. It's her with short hair and dark clothes. Still gotta wonder what's up with that.
Farina.
Huh? Who's that? Who's calling me?
Oh.
Where are you?
Be not nervous. Be not afraid. I am before you.
Wait a moment. You're mirror me? How can this be?
Hey.
Mirror you, huh? You know what? That's not bad. Let's
mirror me. What do you wish to say?
The prophecy. Have you heard of it?
What prophecy? Wait. I know. I think
Okay, this is interesting.
I don't know why.
So does this actually happen?
In my head somehow, the people will all be dissolved into the waters.
Yeah.
And only the Hydro Archon will remain, weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
Oh, very good. You know it well.
She's a very just calm. Fosler is a very calm and soothing voice.
Going on?
It's very interesting. Also, it's really weird to like have to like distinguish between Fosler and Farina. It's so weird now.
For sure is this prophecy. Will it really come to pass?
Huh. Yeah, I don't know. There's so much information, so many different theories, I didn't know what to believe. I thought it was definitely possible that there could be like two Farinas, basically, but I didn't think of it like this. I don't know if anyone like perceived it this way.
Yes, it will. And that is why I've come to you. Disaster will come to Fontaine sooner or later. Things will develop just as the prophecy declared. There is no escaping it.
Okay.
But doesn't that mean everyone will die? I'm a Fontainian just like them. Will I dissolve too?
Oh, don't worry. Magical meetings exist in this world precisely to give people a chance to turn things around. It is the reason why you met me today.
Okay.
I will tell you how to save everyone, but you may have to suffer somewhat.
Oh, so there's still hope after all. Goodness, you frightened me. You spoke so much and with so much certainty. As for the suffering, well, I will admit that the first thing that came to mind was, why do I have to be the one to suffer?
Poor Farina.
But if the prophecy will come true, I'll also die anyway, right? So if I've already
Man,
met
she had to
you
burden
as
this
the
for.
magical
She had to
leader,
bear this burden
there
for
were
a long
scales,
time.
with all the people of Fontaine on one side and my pain on the other. Is it not obvious where the scales should tilt?
Yeah. Poor Farina. I feel so bad for her.
The perfect human. My ideal. I suppose this would also be the justice that belongs to you.
That was from the trailer.
Don't worry, it's nothing. Listen well. Fontaine has just lost its Hydro Archon. I need you to play a role. That of the new Archon.
Okay.
Play as a god?
That's right. You must begin a never-ending masquerade. You must never let anyone suspect your identity.
Okay.
If you can keep it
So
up,
yeah, I think this
then
did
I
happen.
shall have my way of
All of this
defying
happened,
prophecy.
and this is where it all began.
But should your identity be revealed, then all hope will.
And that's why she so adamantly refused everything.
But how will I do this? A human assuming the role of a god without being exposed.
Don't worry. What you must do is not to turn yourself into a real god. You simply need to play the role of a god as humans imagine them to be. Being a human yourself,
interesting.
I'm sure you already know what such an entity would be like. Remember, your true challenge will not be pursuing divinity, but contending against humanity.
That makes sense.
I'm still not sure I understand, but I'll try. I'll try to do this. So, how long am I going to have to play this role?
To accomplish this mission, you will have to stay on the stage for many, many years.
Huh. This is super interesting. I don't know how to feel about Fossilor. I feel awful for Farina, though. Fossilor seems very interesting.
But I promise you,
I don't...
all will eventually end in a magnificent and dramatic trial, and everyone will be saved.
A trial, huh? How exciting. I'll be looking forward to it.
Okay, then. Oh, there's more. Ascension speech, Farina. Okay. Or Ascension speech, not Ascension speech. Okay. That was Farina with her short hair. This is Farina with her long hair. So this is supposed to be like Archon Farina, and the other is like more human Farina. Or Archon in air quotes.
The Maison Cardinalise has announced my accession, but this is my first time facing the people.
Okay.
What should I say to most appear like a god? To be honest, I still don't know. Perhaps I should first try to act natural.
Okay, so that's why she has, like, two sides to her, like an inner Arena, really. Because she's playing the role of Focalor, but she's just Farina.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and welcome to the
This is super interesting, and a lot of things are making more sense now.
I'm sure you've all heard about how I have taken on the role of Hydro Archon. Indeed, I am Farina de Fontaine, your new Archon.
Pure earnest.
In truth, I know little about becoming a nation's new god, but it will be my honor to guide you all. As the god Focalor, the god of justice, I will do all within my
This is so
power to
cool.
lead
I
you
like
to an
this.
age of fairness and
I did not
justice.
expect any of this at all. Closed politely.
Once again, thank you all for coming. If you should have any questions or suggestions, please send them to the Maison Cardinalise. The future of Fontaine will require us to work together, after all. This should do it. I thought I might stammer, but thankfully, I was able to convey my thoughts just fine. Okay, and next.
That's the new Hydro Archon. Is this some kind of joke by the Maison? I would have thought that a being that surpasses humanity would be a bit more assertive.
Oh boy, I figured this was coming up.
Hey, did you hear that? She even told us to send her suggestions there at the end.
Shouldn't gods be all-powerful? She's being so modest. What's the difference between her and an ordinary person, then?
She does seem ordinary there.
If you ask me, perhaps the succession didn't actually happen. She might just be a Maison-backed puppet.
Wait, what's going on? Why is everyone suspecting me of being a fake? Oh, this is bad. If I get exposed here...
And this is why she's been so assertive.
Prophecy. Right. Mirmi said that I just need to play the role of a god as humans imagine them to be. Calm down, Farina. Think. What do the people want?
How would they
imagine a god?
That's why. Okay.
Assertive, with a strong sense of presence.
That's why she plays like such a... She's like the princess.
I'm fated to play.
Almost.
Oh, very good, my people. Only ones such as you are deserving of my rule. Now, I was wondering, if some weak puppet were to one day come onto the stage and claim ownership of this opera house, would the children of Fontaine follow them? Well, it seems that you would all see right through them. Having passed my test, you are qualified to witness wondrous trials alongside my august self here in this opera house.
This is
You may
something. So this
consider
is
my
how...
previous act a door gift of sorts. I thought it was a debut that suited the atmosphere.
So this is how Farina's personality, quote unquote, came to be.
Now then,
Her act.
let us be reintroduced.
Ah, so that was just a performance. How could I have forgotten that we were inside an opera house?
Yeah.
It's quite shocking. I suppose it's a better look than before. Such a fascinating and bold deity. How wonderful. Our future
So this is how she got the people's favor.
It seems I've turned them around. Best follow this flow and restart my accession speech.
Resolutely with conviction.
My dear people, whether you acknowledge me or not, whether you trust me or nay, I say to you, keep faith in your ardor for justice. We have heard it said that this nation's sins can no longer be washed away.
Okay, so I have to choose these options. I wonder what would happen if I do these.
Amid sin. The scales of justice should not weigh heavy in the hands of its God. On one side, it must carry fairness and justice. And on the other,
Okay.
and applause. May law be the prayer on our lips. May
She
judgment
speaks-
be our worship. Let us light the fires and drink to the
End
future
the
of Fontaine.
End the speech emphatically.
There is no trouble in this world that justice cannot solve. All that is needed is for you, my people, to believe in it, heart and soul. So long as I, the Archon Focalor, stand within the Opera Epiclese, so long as I stand before the Oratrice, I shall even judge the gods of this world!
Wow. How interesting. Poor Farina, having to deceive all of her people. Even her right-hand hand Nublet all this time. Okay. So now what's next?
Lady Farina, here are today's case reports, as well as a summary of the follow-up for your perusal.
Come now. Was I not just at the Opera House in person? Leave these kinds of things to Neuvillette. Besides, none of these trials were the one that I'm looking forward to the most.
If I may be so impertinent, what kind of trial are you truly looking forward to?
A magnificent, dramatic, and wondrous trial. A trial to end all things.
The trial.
How could you hope to understand?
That's true, I fear I lack the ability to grasp your divine thought, Lady Archon.
No need for fright, and do not take what I said before too seriously. Go now, do your duties. The trial I await. It will come one day.
Okay. Interesting. Oh, okay. This same thing over here. I think it's mirrored. Or no, it's not. It's not a desk. It's couches.
Farina, I don't know what to say. Thank you for agreeing to see me.
No need to thank me. Or rather, thank your own sense of perseverance instead. Long have you stood in line to meet me, have you not? Oh, I'm afraid that's just an inevitable consequence of my divine charm.
Okay.
All right. Deoteria, is it? How is your son's illness?
You remembered me, and you knew of my family too. He is doing much better now. In fact, he is far more of an ardent believer than I. He was the one who forced me to seek an audience with you, and to bring your...
Interesting.
Oh, good. Very good. If this should happen again in the future, please do not hesitate to come and tell me. Going down to citizens' homes every so often, while not usual practice, should serve as a fine change of pace.
You're such a gentle and wise god. Thank you once again, on behalf of my son.
Huh. Okay. So Farina did show her kindness to all the people, because she needed to. She needed to be bold and assertive, but she needed to be kind as well, so she could get their favor. She must be fair and just, because she is the Archon of Justice.
Here are the latest hydrological reports. As for the specific parameters you asked to take note of, I'm afraid things still don't look good.
Interesting. So this is her informants.
As your god, I did already expect this, but I wanted to see how far your human wisdom would allow you to analyze it. All manner of signs indicate that the prophecy will still come to pass. Forget it. That's not something you need to worry about right now.
Well, as I understand it, the Fontaine Research Institute is also trying to find a way to counter the rising water levels.
Instead, they're sending it all high in the sky.
Have they found anything?
I'm afraid that they haven't found any effective solution thus far.
Oh, is that so? Well, no wonder. This issue has reached the realm of the gods, after all. Still, their spirit is praiseworthy.
Sorry about that. Responding to your text. Okay. Last but not least, this. Hopefully that's the last thing.
The day is finally over. I haven't had a moment to breathe this whole time.
Oh, poor Farina.
But it's good to see that everything's getting on track. There are no longer any voices of suspicion.
That's good.
Maybe this is fine. I just need to keep
Oh.
going. And everyone...
This poor girl.
Alright, Farina, don't think too hard about this. You need rest. Tomorrow's a new day.
Opera House, Scene 4. Okay.
Lady Farina, here are the new trial reports for the latest
This is
cases,
a little bit longer than I was thinking it was going to be. Not the quest, but this part right here.
For that, I've seen them already. There's no need to go back over scenes I've witnessed in person before.
Lady Farina, I've waited so long for this chance to see you. in
Okay.
this manner.
Same thing day in, day out.
Indeed, my dear loyal citizen. This joyous moment is an honor for us both.
Okay.
Lady Farina, we're detecting significant hydrological anomalies near Poisson.
Understood. Keep monitoring. Keep me informed should anything come up at the Institute.
Okay. Interesting.
I don't think I let anything slip today.
Wow, she's been living in fear and anxiety and stress and turmoil and agony all this long.
I just don't know when these days will end.
Poor girl.
I feel utterly exhausted.
Yeah, that would be super exhausting. I could never do it. I'd kill myself before I did that. Well, she's cursed, so I don't think she could, right? Or maybe it just makes her live longer. I don't know. I don't think it's like Conria curse. I think it's just like longer lifespan curse. Jeez. Okay. And oh, scene right about the Opera House, Farina. Okay, they're really trying to emphasize how exhausting and how long she's been to do this.
Like this. I've heard that the first member of our family who was honored to receive an audience with you was Madame Dioteria, almost 20 generations ago.
And what a fine family yours is indeed. It brings me great joy to meet such a faithful believer.
Her voice is cracking a little.
Descendant of a line most ardent.
She sounds like she's about to cry.
Surely you exaggerate, Lady Farina. My lady?
What is it, good citizen?
Oh, she's sounds like that because
Are you crying?
Oh, really now?
Aw,
I didn't even notice.
Farina.
This must be the overflow of hydro from my person. Well, can't quite help being the god whose dominion is the waters, can I?
No wonder. No wonder. A manifestation of your power, then. Oh, Archon, I am honored to have
Oh,
witnessed
Farina.
it.
I feel so bad for her. Stop showing me this. I mean, it's cool and everything, but like, my heart. That's why she's been so lonely, because she's had to hide everything from everyone so long.
Just how much longer?
Oh.
Hundreds of years must have passed by now. Perhaps the
I just want to give her a hug. I really do. I just want to give her a hug.
I never imagined that it would hurt so much. Have reached my limit. No. Perhaps I reached it long ago.
Yeah.
Today I didn't even notice my own tears. I want to tell someone, anyone, about this. But would that not destroy all I've done?
Oh, this act is painful. In the best way possible. I love it, but I hate it. I love it though. I really do.
Centuries. But there's not even a sliver of hope that we might break the prophecy.
Yeah.
All I can do is keep heart. I must maintain this act. It is the only way to save Fontaine. Please, mirror me. You have to succeed.
Okay. 1,236 Opera House, Farina, and... Where the hell is she?
Farina,
Oh, Fasan.
you don't have to shoulder this burden alone. Although I don't know what you might be keeping from everyone, your people are more than willing to share your burden with you.
That's my voice. This scene from when we were within that giant magic box. It's great. I didn't think the sooner we planned her in the world. Surely I'll find out what you want to tell me this time.
Share my burden. That's impossible. It was fated right from the start that this would be my duty alone.
But even if your burden doesn't need to be shared, you can still choose to confide in someone. Just share it with me. I'm what you'd call a witness.
So much through mean talking. This is great. Please do this more, ho-yo.
A witness. Yes. I've heard that you came to Tevat from beyond the stars, yes. In other words, you never belonged here. And if Tevat is, in its entirety, a show on a stage, then you're just a spectator, aren't you?
Alright.
If that's the case...
Inner Farina.
I could confide in her, couldn't I?
Yeah, and there's the black clothes. That's Inner Farina.
But if things don't play out as expected, the people of Fontaine will be the ones to pay the price. No, Farina, you shouldn't be selfish. But what if it's really alright? Farina, you've worked so hard for so long. Surely it would be okay to put yourself first for once. Just
I thought she always put herself first, but in reality, she's never put herself first, ever.
Is it such an outrageous thing to do anyway? To find someone in whom you can confide your frustrations and sorrows?
That's why she was just willing to accept the death sentence.
If you let this opportunity slip through your fingers, it might never.
I'm gonna need therapy after this act, jeez.
Think about it. Long and hard.
Okay.
No, I have nothing to say. I am Farina, the Archon of Fontaine. Everything will surely get better. All you need to do, dear spectator, is to witness my performance until the curtains fall.
So she would have stayed true to her act till the very end. Huh.
Fine.
Oh. Okay. Wow.
So even Farina doesn't know the truth? You've never once let her in on the full plan?
There's never let that go off on her?
Yes, it had to be done. To deceive the heavenly principles, you must first deceive yourself. She did very well. If she had let her resolve,
I said this before, I'll say it again. I really like her outfit. It's very
Fontaine would have
very
been
pretty.
doomed to the most tragic fate. It seems that trusting humanity was the right decision after all.
I believe that I understand how your deception works, but that is only half the truth, is it not?
Yeah.
How would you build on this foundation to save the people of Fontaine?
Yeah.
That is the most important thing.
Ah, good, good. Of course, the Udex of Fontaine has pinpointed the crux of the issue.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've long sensed that the Oratrice is no simple machine, yes?
I've always suspected that it had its own consciousness. And Linny did mention that he heard a human voice within the core chamber.
Was that you?
It seems that person was
Yeah,
you.
okay. So I was right about
Within the
that
machine
part
all
from the
along.
very beginning. I just figured it was Ageria, not the real Focalor.
And then I became one with the Oratrice, taking Fontaine's gnosis
Okay,
with me.
and I was right about it being in the
Yes,
Gnosis being in the
seem so,
Oratrice.
wouldn't it? Alas, your understanding of this device still lacks sufficient depth. In truth, it is no enactor of justice. It is, in fact, a device created to kill the god of justice.
Oh. Oh. That is a crazy good scene right there.
I beg your pardon?
So, okay, I was wondering, like, what happens to Focalor? Because, like, there's no way we get, like, a, you know... Like, I was thinking in terms of, like, playable characters, so it's like... There's not, like... When Farina doesn't, like, transform into Focalor, she's just this and that. There's no, like... Nothing about I don't know. It's interesting. It almost seems like... Huh. So here's my guess. Neuvillette will get the power of the Gnosis back. Because Focalor is going to die. Farina will still be Farina, though. I don't know if she'll still carry the curse or not. She might live a normal life now. But Focalor's plan is to... Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I was thinking maybe Farina would die, but I was like, that would be such a way too cruel of a fate for her. So Focalor is offing herself.
Oh, you have it. And to be more precise, not only will the Oratrice take down the god of justice, it will also take down the divine throne upon which she has been placed.
I think I'm right then.
I mean, did you think I would be the sort to enjoy peaceful repose while Farina suffered?
Okay, so she understands that she has to give back to Farina in some way. She is a fair and just god. She's the god of justice. So, what would be fair is Farina has to suffer, but in the end, she will be free by her creator's own hand. And by her creator's own hand, I mean, the creator will kill herself, basically.
My work over these last 500 years has been to constantly accumulate indemnitium within the Oratrice. But really, some have already discovered that only a small fraction of the energy generated by the device was ever used to provide power to Fontaine.
Yeah, the knave said, it seems that someone is not you. It was the real.
The vast majority had to be accumulated to enact this death sentence.
Interesting.
It was all a part of your plan, then? Both the trial
it
and
would
the
take some crazy amount of power. Oh god.
This power, accrued over 5 centuries, could have sustained Fontainians for millennia, had it only been used for that purpose. Almost all of it has now been stored within the Oratrice.
Wow.
But only power of this magnitude could hope to destroy the Hydro Archon's divine throne, shaking the rules established by Celestia, and breaking through the institution that is the Seven.
Interesting.
So the Oratrice's call for death was for neither Farina nor Focalor, but for the Hydro Archon. The destruction of that divine throne. If I do not misunderstand your intent, you must be...
Returning what's rightfully yours to you, of course.
This will be the first time in history since the Usurper where a dragon has gotten its authority back. And this is the first time ever where a Archon is going to be no longer present. Because, like, once she gives that back, there's no like, passing on power to another Archon. It's just not happening. Like, Neuvillette will have Gnosis, and he's not going to be the Archon. He's going to be the Sovereign Dragon in its fullest form.
In other words, this was all done to return the authority of the Hydro Archon to the Hydro Dragon of this planet.
Interesting.
But...
Oh, what? Getting sad again, are we? The authority of the ancient dragons shall soon be yours once more, O Hydro Dragon Sovereign. And this is the face you make.
All you've done throughout the years is just so you can sacrifice yourself at the very end.
Yeah?
I've never quite seen it that way, you know. Even now, I'm quite pleased at how well my deception worked.
Oh, Neuvillette.
Hydro Dragon, don't cry.
Yeah, I mean, even though he's the Dragon Sovereign, he's only been around for 500 years. Well, she has been around since Egeria, so she's older than him, really.
I must say, had it been within my rights, I would have loved to judge the heavenly principles themselves. Were they not guilty of essentially the same crime?
Yeah, they were.
Egeria stole the power of the primordial sea, and the heavenly principles stole the power you ancient dragons possessed.
That is
I,
true.
for my part, am the god of justice. And is it not just that your original powers should be returned to you? Speaking of justice,
That makes a lot of sense. If that were to happen in any nation, it would be here.
process of pursuing human existence itself.
Okay.
So, if the theft of the primordial sea's might was Fontaine's original sin, then, leaving matters of procedural right and wrong aside, the descent of the Fontanians as humans and their right to exist in this world would be Fontaine's original justice.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
In other words, existence was Egeria's justice, and to me, justice is the continuation of that existence, defying the prophecy and ensuring that Fontaine's people shall live on. That should be the justice enthroned over all others.
I see.
At this point, we, whether it be myself or all other Fontanians, have shouldered the burden of this sin for far too long. Iudex Neuvillette, the highest judge in our land, when you regain your full power as an elemental sovereign, what verdict shall you pass upon us?
So when I was invited to the court of Fontaine to serve as Iudex...
Yeah.
I see
So you
now
set
that
this
that
all
was
up.
your idea too. At last. I now understand the true purpose behind this position.
That makes a lot of sense now. That really does. Everything about Neuvillette makes so much more sense. So, to briefly summarize, Focalor brought Neuvillette to the court of Fontaine to be the judge. Not so he could just be some random justice, but so in the end, when she would give him the power to stop the prophecy, and then he would be there to judge everyone. Because that's what a judge does.
In the beginning, I was uninterested in human existence. But these 5 centuries of living alongside them have gradually brought about mutual understanding between us. And I have even attempted to feel as they feel.
Yeah?
You are a devious one, Focalors. Things being as they are, surely you know that I could never declare them to be guilty.
Yep, and that's why she did all of this, because she knew you'd make the right choice. Here it goes.
The hour of my execution is almost here. For the sinner, the curtain call has come. I know I may not sound it, but faced with death, I find myself a little afraid.
Yeah?
Perhaps this is one thing both gods and humans have in common.
I'm...
Farewell, Nervalette.
Okay, I'll say what I want to say later.
Played these 500 years.
Aww. Wow. Furina dancing on her stage alone. And Focalors dancing right before her death. Nicolette, oh. Oh man. I'm about to cry. I'm not even kidding. Oh yeah, I'm tearing up. That almost made me burst into tears, I'm gonna be honest. Thank you, Furina, for all you've done. From this moment on, please live happily as a human, just as we wished we could. I want to give Furina a hug. Okay, well, forget about that right now. Noblesse becoming main character.
I, Iudex Neuvillette, hereby declare, people of Fontaine, your sins are forgiven.
Whoa! He's literally washing away their sins. That is incredible. The music in this act has been so good, too. I need all of it.
What just happened? Has the death
Did time, like,
sentence been
freeze
carried?
when that happened?
Was that bright light some sort of misdirection? I have a feeling that something huge just happened.
But since we're all still alive and haven't been dissolved, I assume whatever happened was good for us.
It's time to end this. We must mete out punishment to that beast.
Didn't you say just a moment ago that it can't be defeated?
I have gained the strength sufficient to deal with it. Through certain means, I now have the ability to separate the power of the primordial sea from that creature. We shall
Oh,
seize the
that's
opportunity
how.
to pursue our quarry.
Just now?
Traveler, now that the oratories can no longer function, I require an executor to help me mete out justice.
You mean me?
The root of the calamities befalling Fontaine. The beast that enacts the prophecy. Its name is the all-devouring narwhal. Come with me, traveler. The hour of execution has come.
Oh, man. Here we go. Oh, this reminds me of the Guardian of Apep's Oasis. Okay, well, where's Child? I want to know where he is. Ah! Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. I can barely hear Neverland.
Unless we can find a way to attack it from within.
Oh my god. Oh, jeez. Oh my gosh, this thing is so big. Okay. Just gotta keep...
Can feel its sorrow turning into hostility.
Oh, jeez. Okay, just gotta keep... Progress bar. Oh, god. Okay, okay. Yeah, just dodge right now. Okay, we're good. Destroy the Eye of Mushroom. Or Mushroom? Maelstrom. Destroy the mushroom.
The all-devouring narwhal cannot resist its instinct to devour.
Yeah, that's kind of its name.
Its hostility. Its will present itself.
Okay, he's mad. Whoa. Okay. Here it comes. Alright. That is such cool sound design. What is this music? Oh. This music is so good. Oh, this is the best. I gotta know what this thing is, though. It definitely looks like an abyss monster, but I have no idea for sure.
I have granted you my protection. Do not
Use the power of Numenor to...
use my power to suppress its root from within.
Okay.
Manifest the authority of the ancient dragons. Witness the might of the primordial sea.
Okay, so we're constantly getting healed. Awesome. Okay, come on. Come on. We almost broke this guy's... Okay. Okay. Whoa. Okay. Did we defeat it already? No, there's no way. Every boss is stage 2. Oh, what the heck? Yeah. Yep. Huh? Child? It's Skirk? Oh. No, there's no way.
Thanks for helping with the cleanup. It should have been my job, but...
Okay, what was that? That beat drop for a second. I feel like it's about to enter a rave.
It was just supposed to be a short private training session for me. I didn't think that my disciple and my master's pet would start brawling in the meantime.
Your master's pet. You're from beyond the stars, okay.
Well, actually, I had a feeling that it would happen at some point, but they bumped into one another earlier than I thought. What a blunder. I suppose I'll have to swing my sword 3 million times as penance.
Your master's pet?
Power. Who are you exactly?
Paimon has an idea. From what she said earlier, she must be Child's master. Skirk, right? It's just that he gave us the impression that she was the less talkative person.
Uh-huh.
I simply did not have anything to say to the weak. But you, on the other hand, managed to defeat the all-devouring narwhal without using power from beyond this world. So you may speak to me as equals.
What sort of person would take the all-devouring narwhal as a pet.
I have to agree. It's a strange use of a planet's primordial waters just to raise an all-devouring narwhal.
So you have a master. You said it's your master's pet, so you have a master.
That kind of power is wasted on it. It's not cooperative. It eats too much. And I have more important things to do with my time than pet sitting. The only thing that creature has going for it is its looks.
Okay.
All in all, it fails as a pet.
Miss Skirk? I think you might have missed the point.
The point being?
Well, being that this pet almost destroyed an entire nation. So what sort of person is your master? Well, child's master's master. Wait, is that right?
Oh, right. So you don't know him. Sorry, I assumed you did.
Okay.
His name is Sertologi.
Who? Yeah.
I am unfamiliar with that name.
Huh. So Master isn't sufficiently famous.
Oh, the foul legacy.
Have you heard of the name The Foul?
The Foul?
Still nothing? Well, how about The Visionary?
Oh!
Familiar then? Or Gold Rhine-Daughter?
Wait, what? Rhine-Daughter? Go? What? Okay. That is not what I was expecting at all. She unleashed the beast in Conria. She also... That makes so much sense. That... Because she has a connection with, like... Huh. Okay. That's a freaking mess. So, Rhine-Daughter is Skirk's master. And she's the one who unleashed the narwhal, which makes sense. I mean, she unleashed Durin. She unleashed, the monsters of the abyss onto Conria.
Ooh, that one we've heard. Rhine-Daughter's part of the Hexen Circle. She's Albedo's mom, right?
Albedo's mom, yeah.
So you do know that name. To be honest, I also heard all of those names and titles from my master. I don't actually know them either.
Okay.
But I suppose you understand now, yes? My master is likely a similar sort to Rhine-Daughter.
Oh, they're similar
They
to
both excel
Rhine-Daughter.
in some form of perfection.
Okay, so they're not Rhine-Daughter. Okay.
Wait, didn't you also mention a visionary person?
Wait.
Paimon didn't quite catch their name.
Actually, never mind that. I believe it expedient to inform you that the all-devouring narwhal used up nearly all its strength fighting you. Such roiling hydro energies will prove difficult for the planet's deep seas to digest. As such,
Okay.
the fontaine back on the surface has most likely been thrown into chaos.
Oh.
In other words,
Oh, great.
the prophecy that you've been fretting over should now be in full swing.
What?
There's little to be surprised about Paimon. And it is natural after all. The prophecy will surely come true. We knew this and accepted it. However...
Not to worry. Focalor has already managed to deceive the heavenly principles.
Okay. So what's happening now?
The people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only Farina will remain, weeping on her throne.
Whoa. Okay.
Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
Okay. Oh, okay. Wait, will, what's his name? Why did I forget his name? Will Wriothesley's ship be here? This is so cool. This is like movie quality. Yep. Here it is. That is so awesome. It's an airship too?
All hands initiate emergency rescue.
Yes! Wriothesley literally coming in clutch and saving all of Fontaine. That is so cool. I'm so glad that this actually got to be used. This is awesome. Fremine? Okay. I guess he's like reconnaissance, like search and rescue. Okay, there's Lynette. And Linny. Wow, look at the house, the hearth, helping out all of Fontaine.
Look, the water's receding.
Okay.
It's a miracle!
Water's receding.
We didn't dissolve. The prophecy was wrong. The prophecy was wrong.
This is amazing. I feel like this is the best Archon quest ever. Oh. Rita.
Are you right? We're saved. The prophecy was wrong.
Oh, oh, I feel like I'm gonna cry. That was so amazing. That was easily one of the most high quality, like, movie grade cutscenes ever. I just cannot believe. Okay. Wipe away my tears. Ugh. So.
Renewed. The Spina di Rosula talks post-disaster rebuilding. I recently visited Poisson to meet with Miss Navia, spokesperson of the Spina di Rosula, and we spoke about Poisson's
Okay, I collected myself.
old soil can still give birth to new bloom, Miss
So,
Navia stated.
there was so much dropped in the last, like,
Starving late at night.
hour.
Just need a little of it.
But, okay, so it wasn't Rhine-Daughter, but it was someone like her. Maybe someone of the Hexen Circle? We're not sure.
Skyship Winglet,
But
brain of the Fontaine Research Institute. The various disputes that have arisen on account of Mr. Edwin have suddenly become a shield over the Institute, with Jurier turning out to be a once overlooked hidden gem.
Uh-huh.
People always call the first researcher mad, but few know what to call the second. And should that latter person achieve a miracle, they would find it all the harder to find a word with which to classify him and his team.
Wow. Wriothesley literally saved the day.
Recognizes the people in the reports. Are those really Jurier and Navia? They sound like real big shots.
They might have been real big shots from the start. We just meet them in that capacity.
What do you think? Pretty enthralling, huh? The Steambird's idea was pretty simple. With the disaster just having passed, we would print a free edition packed to the margins with good news to calm people down.
Yeah?
The value for these big scoops lies in their inevitable follow-ups. We'll publish further reports and go into the stories behind those people.
Okay.
Edwin's assistant, Jurier, created a true flying ship, while Navia is leading people in the reconstruction of their home. I'm sure that these stories could draw even your well-traveled eye.
Yeah, the articles do make me curious about how things will play out.
I'm curious too! Wait a minute. Didn't we watch everything happen from start to finish? What's there to be curious about?
And that's exactly why I'd like you to come conduct interviews with me. You're the best incubators of news, if you haven't noticed. And also, with you around, I'm sure I'll get to see that Duke.
I want to see him too.
Are you sure? Hasn't he turned you down several times already?
Oh, this time will be different. Come on, let's head to Poisson first, and then make a trip to the fortress. There are some things you'll only know when you get there.
Okay. Alright. For a better tomorrow. Oh. Okay, and I still have Child's Vision. Tear among the stars. A drop of water obtained from within the colossal beast who coveted the primordial sea of life. A philosopher in the faraway ancient world once posited that where there is life, there is death. Naturally, where there is death, there is life. If not, then the fleeting light cannot resist the eternal darkness, and all withers into nothingness at the end of time. The rules among the stars dictate that nature must be conserved, but the laws of the universe have never been conserved. In a sealed box, destruction always overpowers new life. Millennia upon millennia of prosperity are but an instant in a span of billions of years. The greatest of achievements, the proudest accomplishments in all time will tarnish, decay, dissipate, and ultimately fade into oblivion. Okay, I'm not reading all of this. Okay. I gotta wonder what happened to Child, though. Like, where is he now? I'm so curious. We need to find that out. There's no way they'll... That's gotta be either the interlude or at the end of this. I'm gonna assume the interlude, though. It's like, he just got thrown into a black hole with the whale. Like, where did he go? What happened to him? Okay. Where are we? Yeah, over here. Okay. For some reason it's not, like, navigating. That's because this didn't do that. Awesome. Thanks, game. Oh yeah, let's look at my quests. Or my achievements, sorry. For better tomorrow, rebuild. People rebuild their home. I thought I got another one. I guess I was wrong. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Or that. Okay. Hey, Navia. And Fatui. It's nice to see the two are helping out with everything.
What brings you all here?
Hey, we're just having a look around.
I'm here to update myself on how things are going here. Hmm? Oh, the Fatui are here too.
Let me introduce you. This is Mr. Garunt Snezhevich. He represented the Knave in sending us a large amount of supplies, and is helping with our work.
Okay.
Our residents are hard at work as well. Thanks to everyone, work is progressing nicely. We've lost a lot of people, but we're moving forward. That will have to be enough.
Okay. That's
Hello, Miss
good.
Charlotte. I'm a big fan of yours. I especially like that article you wrote last year about Fontaine's stray cats.
Okay.
But if you don't mind, could you not emphasize our role too much in your report? It's not charity we're doing here. We just happen to share the same interests as the Spina.
Okay.
I get where you're coming from. I'll keep it as simple as possible. Or would you be willing to feature as friendly neighbors?
That would be fine. Thanks.
Oh,
Okay.
You're back too.
Ah,
How are
Clarin.
things?
We finished laying down the construction materials. It'll be another hour before the workers are able to go over there.
Huh? You're here too, Clarin?
Well, her reputation's greatly risen after that whole duel business with Miss Farina.
Yeah, I'd
so she's
imagine.
here in Poisson to wait out the heat. All right. She really came here to help me out.
There's too much to consider in the reconstruction of Poisson. The Spina has need of more decision makers. And, well, I do already happen to be connected to Mr. Callis.
Oh, wait just a moment. Do you mind me asking a few questions? You know, about how you felt before the duel, about what it was like facing down a god. There's lots of exciting material there, I bet.
Forget it. I'm sure you can find a better theme than that, Miss Charlotte.
I see you're the same as always. Couldn't you do me a favor, for Navia's sake?
Well, if we're talking about doing things for my sake, you might as well just take a few more photos of me. Or of the Traveler. It's better than wasting time persuading Chlorand at any rate.
Yeah,
Of course I
probably.
will. I'm not gonna let her off that easy. All right, then everyone who wants to be in the photo, gather up and smile.
How nice.
Was it a good shot? Did Paimon look cute in it?
Oh, Paimon.
Not bad. Your addition really helped the composition of the picture. All right, hang on a moment. Let me snap a few more shots.
I'll take more pictures per song until they click and shut it. Blah, blah, blah.
That
Okay.
should do it. I'll be back here later anyway, so let's call it a day.
Okay.
You're very quick.
Yeah,
Speed
she's a
is
diligent
of the
worker.
essence when it comes to the news, and freshness is the key. Also, not to brag, but I'm pretty good at building connections. Who knows? I might eventually get that interview with you after all, Miss Clarand.
How bold of you,
Wow,
Charlotte.
You really do have that never say die spirit. I'm impressed.
I'll hazard a guess that this is how you got that interview at the Fortress of Meripede.
You already know she was going.
Whoa, you're well informed. Let me make a guess too. I asked Sijuin, who told Monsieur Nervillette, and he told you, right?
That's a very complete information chain.
In truth, all Monsieur Neuvillette asked me was, when did the Fortress
Okay, shut
become
up,
so
phone alarm.
friendly towards the media? I told him that it was best not to speak too soon. There's no guarantee that Ridesley will make a personal appearance.
You're right. I've got to treasure every moment I have with them. In which case, I'll be making a move first.
Okay.
Stay safe now. And tell me if you hear anything interesting. I'll treat you to afternoon tea in exchange.
Alright. I'm excited to talk to Resley. I don't know about you, but, you know. I miss my boy. The man of the hour. Let's do this thing. Man. I've heard it for 2.5 hours, but it feels like it's been, like, double that.
Wow, guess we're here again, huh? There's a real nostalgic feeling to this place.
Yeah.
Looks like you've been missing us.
Duke! Did you come all the way to the entrance to greet us?
Of course. I'm here to welcome you and our dear Miss Charlotte, whom our good head nurse recommended to me.
It's an honor to finally meet the much-rumored Duke. Thank you for consenting to my visit to the fortress, sir.
No need to thank me. But that said, I shouldn't be the focus of your interview. I trust you recall our agreement?
Of course, of course.
Okay.
All right, then, this way.
I take it exterior. That will be the focus. And Lurvine.
Hey, no need to be so nervous. I've already taken all the photos we need. Miss Charlotte, do these pictures really need to be published on the cover of the Steambird?
It would seem that Miss Lorvine doesn't want her face to appear beside that of Mr. Jurier,
Sir, please don't say things like that.
But it looks like dear Mr. Jurier denies it. Might this interview be very important to you, then?
No, I just... This
Okay.
is my first time being interviewed, and I'm very thankful to the Steambird for...
Now, I might not look it, but I actually did meet Mr. Edwin once. And I'll be honest, I enjoyed chatting with you more. You've definitely got more of that genius vibe going on. The boat that brought about a miracle, the ark that saved the people. Why, you recreated a myth back there, like an emissary of legend.
I love their expressions in the background.
I might ask, where's that flying ship now?
Oh yeah, where is it?
Looks like Charlotte's trying to get herself another
I have to apologize, but that ship is presently in the bowels of our factory. I'm afraid it won't be easy for you to get a shot of it.
Really?
Ah, so it goes back where it was
Got
before.
an interview with you to make up for that loss?
She really does know how to squeeze opportunities for all they're worth.
You already know my answer, I'm afraid. Best you interview our head nurse instead. Or perhaps you'd like to take another photo of this couple of researchers?
Did you really have to use the word couple?
You did it on purpose, Wesley.
Well, then, 2 solo photos will do.
Is my hair messed up? Please, someone help me have a look.
Things sure are getting pretty lively here. We've seen this kind of thing before.
Yeah.
Seems like everyone's here.
Sijuin.
Any of you like to try this new drink I came up with?
And Wrightsley's gonna be like, alright, see you guys later.
Ah, Sijuin.
Hey, Miss Charlotte. Why don't you, take some pretty photos of our head nurse? Sure. Come on, Miss Siegewayne. Over this way. Let's find a brighter spot. Huh?
Sure. Do I have to smile?
You say that if you don't just always smile anyways.
Same old, as you can see. Fontaine's undergone some changes, but this place is still more or less the same.
Well, that's good that you maintain status quo.
Other than that flying ship, it got a tad too much attention, I think.
That's why I decided to let the interview go through. We should direct more public opinions toward the behind-the-scenes heroes. Am I right, Mr. Jurrier? Miss Lurvine?
You're too kind, sir. I believe that you should have your day in the sun. Not that you would want that, which is a pity.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Risley is the one who, like, initiated all of this. He may not have built the ship or, you know, planned, you know, all the ins and outs of it, but he was the one who, like, originally came up with the idea for it.
I'll just leave the spotlight to you two.
He saved Fontaine. I mean, really, Fossilor and Neuvillette did, like, the brunt of the work, but, like, they were not present. Well, one of them was dead. Yeah, whatever. You get my point. You walk with Risley for a while and share news of a crime.
Lots of things happened that day, huh? Anyway, regarding that Harbinger, I'm not sure you remember, but his 3 young followers are still waiting for his return.
Okay, yeah.
You sure did win them over, huh?
I'll tell them that there's good news and bad news. The good being that their boss seems fine, and the bad being that they must face extended sentences for abetting his escape.
Oh, actually, what about you? Are things gonna change for you too?
What change can there be? The fortress will keep chugging along, and so will my duties.
Yeah, that's about
As
what
to
I expected.
Miss Farina's departure will mean for the nation, and if our laws and governance will be transformed, we'll leave those to the folks in the overworld.
Okay.
Hey everyone, the photo shoot's done.
Miss Farina's departure. Now, what does that mean exactly? Because she's not the Archon anymore, but she still lives in Font. Will that be hard for her? Like,
good. In that case, let's.
Will
call
she
it a
still
day.
have any power in Font? Like, what will it be?
Thanks for your cooperation.
I don't understand.
Let's go. Till next time,
And will
everyone.
Neuvillette run Fontaine
There'll
now?
be a next time?
Maybe. Who knows? I might write a story about the underwater factory next time. Until then. All right. Last stop, the docks.
Okay. Maritime Harbor. Yeah, I gotta wonder. Yeah, I'm wondering about Neuvillette and Farina and all of this. Like, does Neuvillette have full control over this land? No, I don't know. Is he the Archon, so to speak? Okay. It's down here. I'm not taking this stupid slow elevator. Instead, I'll be jumping off here. Is that Linny? Yeah, and there's Lynette and Fermine. Huh, I guess they'll be leaving Fontaine. Hello.
Navia mentioned that she stayed in touch with Linny and the others after working together. Apparently, they've been at the docks distributing these strange pockets the whole time since.
Huh. Okay. So they're not leaving, they're just at the docks.
Traveler, Paimon. Ah, and Miss Charlotte, too.
Would you like a magic pocket?
What sort of gadget is it?
Yeah.
It's a wondrous bag that can be used to carry many things. The water level has returned to normal, but if you see any of your things floating around, you can use this to carry them. Or you could trick a friend into doing it for you.
Okay.
Trick a friend? I wonder which of my friends would fall for that.
You could just make a friend like Fremine here. Isn't that right, Fremine?
Put Fermine on the spotlight.
Is this what you meant by I'll help you make some more friends? To be honest, that sounds pretty sweet. Could I have your contact, please?
Sure. Please, write down my address.
You sure are working hard to help Fermine socialize.
He was the
How
one who
sweet.
proposed doing this. He even wants to assist in our magic shows.
Sounds like that would suit him.
Yes, I was planning to first introduce Per as an assistant, and later Fremine himself. In the future, I think we can leave underwater escape magic to him too.
That said, would anyone want to see a diver escape underwater?
True.
Oh, it'll work out. Every journey begins with the first step. He'll become a part of our show eventually.
Lynette, could you come over? Miss Charlotte says she wants to take a picture of us.
Okay.
Got it.
My, that Charlotte is rather perceptive. She got rid of everyone the moment she realized I had something to say to you.
Oh.
So, how have things been, Traveler?
I'm doing
Father
alright.
says that you did a great deal during the latest events. She's very grateful for your contributions to Fontaine.
Yeah, we didn't really see much of the Knave in Fontaine. We saw, like, her presence, but we never, like, saw her herself much at all in Fontaine. I'm gonna assume we won't see her in the next... We won't see her in Notlin, I don't think. We might... I don't know. I don't know when we'd next see her.
That's alright. We were more than happy to help. So, what's she doing now?
Oh, I guess you haven't heard. Well, after Lady Farina left, Father and Monsieur Neuvillette opened negotiations, during which he gave Fontaine's gnosis to her as a diplomatic gift.
Ah, dang it.
A diplomatic gift? A gnosis?
Yes, I was quite surprised at first myself.
Yeah, really.
But when I thought it over, there were actually a number of things going for it. It could have been done as an apology for the incident with Lord Child, or as thanks for his help in tying the all-devouring narwhal down. Furthermore, Father did also lend significant aid to Fontaine and Poisson.
I mean, I guess.
That's true, but this is a gnosis we're talking about.
Well, it's also Neuvillette.
Irresponsible?
I would agree, but I've also heard that it seems that Monsieur Neuvillette has had a significant change of heart regarding the matter.
Oh?
So there's some reason for this that only Neuvillette knows about?
I suspect you'll have to ask him about that yourself.
Yeah, okay. I will.
Ah, yes, speaking of which, I did see him strolling around the entrance to the Fortress of Meripede a while back.
Okay, we're going there.
Isn't he real busy and stuff? But back to the topic. The gnosis was given to the knave.
Yeah, what about Child?
They say that he's returned to Snezhnaya to recover from
Okay,
his
so he's
wounds.
good.
I hear that the recent disaster really did a number on his health.
I guess I can now call him one of my war buddies. Yeah, we fought Nom.
That's true. When you think about it, we've had loads of run-ins with the Fatui. To think we'd be allied with them this time.
I feel like this is the... A lot of people are theorizing that in the end we'll join the Fatui. When we... In the Snezhnaya arc. And, yeah, I feel like this is kind of, like, partly leading up to it. And even Sumeru, in a way, we were against the Fatui, but, like, in the end, we kind of allied with Wander in the inversion of Genesis. Huh. I'm trying to think. I don't know. I don't think we'll see the Knave in Notlin. I think she'll be, like, an ally character, kind of like Child. Well, I mean, Child was once an enemy in Liyue, but he's been an ally since our fight there. So, I don't know. I think there'll be two of our allies in the Fatui. I don't think... If I were to guess who we're going to see in Notlin, it's going to be Sandrone. That's my guess. That is my guess. She seems more like she would be in Fontaine, but guess not. Yeah, I don't know. That's my guess. It could be another one of the Fatui, but I feel like she's the most... I don't know. I feel like she's the best candidate. And the rest we'll see in Snezhnaya. That's just my guess.
So shocked by such a simple switching of sides?
It's a Niv.
Father.
Well, well, what do you know? Come to the docks to see how my children are doing and meet the traveler by chance. Please do not pay my accomplishments in Fontaine too much mind. I would have done them regardless.
Are you going to take the Gnosis back to Snezhnaya?
Well, I mean, that's her job as a Harbinger.
That is our duty as Harbingers.
Like I just said.
Yes. Don't be too preoccupied with sides. The goal of the Fatui concerns not a single place or person, but the entire world.
Yeah.
With such a grand goal in mind, it is inevitable that we must wear many masks. Switching my masks is something I've always done.
Will you keep to your position?
Well, that depends on many things. No one truly knows what the future holds. What good is honesty if you can't rely on it forever?
Okay.
As for you, I very much look forward to our next collaboration. Good things cannot be achieved alone.
Yeah,
and you've proved yourselves to be great partners.
Actually, I just remembered something. Please help us deliver this.
A vision?
Oh yeah, okay.
All right. I'll remember to return it. Thank you for keeping it safe for him this entire time.
I had that in the back of my mind earlier when I was looking at the new thing we got. It's like, oh yeah, I haven't returned Child's Vision yet. Okay. So, I guess the thing with Child won't be...
That's a wrap for me. Huh? You're...
Okay. So, I just want to say, yeah, I hope we maintain friendly relations with the Knave. It seems like we will. That's cool. I like that. And, yeah, we wrapped up things with Child, it seems. It seems he's back to Snezhnaya, he's recovering, he's gonna get his vision back. So, my guess is maybe that's not what the interlude will be about. What it will be about, though, I have no idea. I can't picture right now, like, what loose ends are there to tie up still? I mean, it still could be about Child, but it's like, they're kind of like wrapping things up with him, so it doesn't seem like that's what it's about. I could be wrong. Maybe it will be. It could be about something completely different. Because, like, I don't know. Don't know what it could be about. But usually the interlude is released, it's going to be, like, released next in 4.3 probably, right? That's how it was with Shimero, I believe. It was, like, the next one. Okay, whatever. Enough theorizing. Let's just continue. No idea what the interlude would be about.
Greetings, Miss Journalist.
Hello. If I'm not mistaken, there are diplomatic channels I'll need to report to take a photo of you.
That is correct. So forgive me, but I will not be able to serve as a subject in your article. However, feel free to write as much as you'd like about our dear magicians and our upcoming rookie talent.
I will.
The sea breeze is quite pleasant.
It's good that we're able to maintain friendly relations with all of Fatui in this arc. This is super cool.
Farewell, Father.
Oh, she has such an intimidating presence. I didn't even dare to take a picture. Thankfully, I've already wrapped up all my pre-scheduled interviews. Thank you all.
Okay, and next we will go to Nubilet.
I'm sure.
Don't be too nervous. Why don't you take a magic pocket before you go? Here, Traveler, Paimon, you take one too.
To move things about?
That's right. Funny.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this seems familiar.
First met too. And what do you know? I'm doing the exact same thing right now. So many things have happened, but the pockets are still the pockets. I guess this must be life. We will all follow our own paths, and serendipity will lead you to your fated friends.
Things come full circle.
All right, then. We'll be handing out pockets in some other districts later, so we'll get going now. Have a good day, you two.
Well, guess we sent Charlotte out. Shall we go see what Nubilet's doing?
Yes.
As long as he's not so busy that he doesn't have time to chat anyway.
I guess the other thing... I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe the next time we'll... I don't know. I feel like we should see Farina at least once before the end of this, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we won't. Who knows? Who knows? But right now it's Nubilet time. Okay. Wowie. That was a really... Can I just say? That was a really short boss battle, and we barely got, like... That was the shortest boss battle in all of in all of boss battles we've ever done.
The entrance to the fortress! Ooh, he really is there!
Yeah. I wish it was longer, but I guess I can, like, you know, refight it, and hopefully it'll be longer. I also want to know what that thing is inside of it.
So, you really are here, Neuvillette. Paimon didn't think you were going to have free time this hour of the day.
Yeah.
Really? Oh, I suppose you must have met Mr. Linney. He took the time to greet me earlier when he passed this way.
Okay.
In any case, you came at a good time. I was just considering reaching out to you to set up a meeting, so I may explain some things that I haven't had the time to before.
Aw, Paimon's glad that you remembered. Thank you for keeping us on your
Aw.
mind, what with you being busy and all.
Thanks, Neuvillette.
Alright, let's have it then. How was Fontaine actually saved? The whole business is still quite the mystery to us.
Oh yeah, that's true, huh?
It is strange how words can often leave a bitter taste in the mouth when it finally comes time to say them out loud.
Neuvillette sighed softly before telling you the truth that what he saw that day. Fauchelor deceived the heavenly principles and used Farina's endless performance to save Fontaine.
Whoa. So that's what happened?
I only saw Farina's part myself.
Fauchelor destroyed the divine throne of the Hydro Archon and restored your power to you, transforming you into a fully fledged elemental dragon sovereign. But Paimon still doesn't quite get what you did to save the Fontainians from dissolving.
Yeah.
For me, the authority of the ancient dragons refers to absolute control over the hydro element.
Okay.
Fontainians were incomplete humans born of Egeria's use of the power of the primordial sea, with constitutions similar to that of mimics.
Okay, yes.
But so long as those primordial energies remain within them, I could use the ancient dragon's authority to grant them true blood, after the fashion in which life was
So they're
first brought
true
to being
humans
on
now,
this planet.
basically.
In other words, when I gave my verdict, Fontainians
Yeah.
became true humans, and thus would naturally no longer be dissolved by water from the primordial sea.
Interesting. So yeah, he literally washed away their sins, and they became pure humans now.
Fauchelor must have counted on you to make that decision as well. Your verdict was the key to making the prophecy appear to have come true while saving everyone.
The Fontaines were... You could say it was at that moment that Fontaines were finally truly born.
Yeah, and in a manner of speaking, Fauchelor finally managed to fulfill the original Hydro Archon's wish to turn Oceanids into real people too!
R.I.P. Rodia.
It seems from your expressions that you still have more things you wish to ask. Ask
Yeah.
away. I will tell you the truth as I
Okay, here it is. We've done this twice. About the initial verdict that was passed on
I
Child.
have investigated his case along many avenues, and I have learned that he once fell into an unknown chasm when he was young.
Yeah?
There, by chance, he awakened the all-devouring
Oh,
narwhal.
so he awakened it. Alright.
But whether it be by sentiment or reason, that should not have been enough to consider him the root cause of the disaster. At most, he would have had tangential liability.
Okay.
As for the judgment passed by the Oratrice during the trial,
Yeah.
whether it was due to that liability by association or Fauchelor deliberately using him to buy time for us on the assumption that he would be able to hold the creature off, I cannot say.
I understand now. Okay.
Guess Fauchelor had Fontainians in mind the whole time. In the end, it was thanks to her that they finally became real humans. Hang on a second. Paimon suddenly got another question. Back when Fontainians hadn't yet become real humans, were the children they had also transformed Oceanids?
Okay, yeah.
Life has always flowed like water. Do you recall how Fontainians would often come to the Fountain of Lucine to pray for children?
Yeah?
Yeah. Lynette said the fountain is where all the waters in Fontaine converge.
In truth, even those couples did not know that such prayers were no mere custom, but instead a form of ritual. Those Oceanids who were blessed within the spring water would later descend as new humans in the coming months.
Okay, wait, what? I'm trying to wrap my head around what the hell he just said. Okay.
Paimon sorta gets it now. ritual won't be of any further use, but it'll probably live on as a local custom.
Ask away. I will tell you the truth.
Okay, that was a little weird, but alright. About Fontaine's future.
About that, Risley said Farina has already left. What's that all about?
Ah, Lady Farina. The people are only aware that her death sentence has not been carried out. She abdicated the post of Hydro Archon and left affairs related to that title to me, before leaving the Opera House.
Okay.
I related Focalor's words to her faithfully and completely. After hearing them, she seemed neither saddened nor comforted.
Okay.
She simply said that she was tired and needed to rest.
I understand, Farina.
Having said that, she then packed her things and moved out of the Opera House. Not unlike how an ordinary person might.
But she's still got a place to stay, right?
You need not worry. I will make arrangements to ensure that she will not want for food, clothing, board, or travel.
Well, that's very nice of you.
In truth, I am somewhat happy for her. The wear and tear on her spirit
Okay.
will, of course, take
I
time
was worried
to
that
heal.
things would be broken between the two by the end, but it seems like Nubilet understands her a lot better now and isn't angry at her anymore, and instead wants to help her and feels sorry for her.
But now that she no longer has to play the role of Focalor the Hydro Archon, she can finally lay down her burdens and lead a normal life.
Which will be hard for her.
Then, what are your plans now that you've regained your full powers as the Hydro Dragon?
Yeah, so he still has his full powers. He doesn't need the Gnosis. Or does he still have his full
Focalor
powers?
passed on, the Oratrice also ceased to function. This matter will directly affect our trials. After much careful consideration, I've decided to take over its role in our courts. From now on, I shall hear cases and pass verdicts by myself.
Okay.
Looks like you're still considering stuff from the perspective of the Udex, huh?
As an elemental dragon, there are indeed many things that I must do. But this power and this duty, in a manner
Okay.
of speaking, you could say that both were granted to me.
Yeah?
As such, before I attend to my other responsibilities, I must first and foremost continue to serve Fontaine as its highest judge. The duty of the Hydro Sovereign and the duty of the Udex shall coexist within my person.
Well, you're a very responsible and admirable human being. Well, dragon human being. I don't know.
Additionally, the Hydro Archon's departure has brought about another problem, which is that the Opera House shall no longer produce indemnitium.
Yeah.
That's true. That power was derived from the people's faith in the Hydro Archon, wasn't it? Wait, but the various mechs and machines in the city are all still okay. Where are they getting their energy from?
As I am now, I have full command over New Musia, and it can serve as a complete substitute.
Okay.
Another reason why I cannot quite leave Fontaine immediately.
Yeah. Alright. Huh. Okay. So, you're using that power source now.
Wow. This ancient dragon's authority stuff is really quite useful, huh?
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Okay, so about Fontaine's Gnosis. So you don't... So he doesn't need the Gnosis. Did he absorb the power? I don't know. I'm trying to understand. Actually, no. Wait. I'm confused. I'm a little confused. So, did he just give, like, a useless Gnosis? Or is the Gnosis still useful? I don't know. Is there two parts to a Gnosis's power? I don't know. I'm not sure. Because it does seem like power, like, I don't know. Like, the Archons don't need the Gnosis to use their power, as shown by, like, well, all of them, really, but especially, like, A. She's, like, you could say, like, oh, the other ones are weakened because they don't have their Gnosis, but no, that's not the case. They're just... They still have the same power as they did before. But A can, like, just obliterate people, and she didn't have her Gnosis for a very long time. So I'm not sure how the Gnosis is quite work exactly. But it seems they just connect an Archon to Celestia, and that's all they do. That's what that's what I understand, at least. But their power, their divine power over an element, it seems like that's separate from the Gnosis, and that's what she gave. Nivelet.
Oh, that's right! They say you've given it to the knave as a diplomatic gift or something!
It's a little confusing.
Leaving aside their intentionality, the two Fatui Harbingers have indeed done much for us during this crisis.
Yeah.
Their sole remaining goal in Fontaine, at least at this point, would seem to be the Gnosis.
Mm-hmm.
The Oratrice has ceased to function. The Hydro Archon's divine throne is now no more. And I do not need the Gnosis's power.
Okay.
As such, it has lost all meaning for Fontaine.
So he doesn't need it. So you're... Okay, so yeah.
If the Fatui have impure designs, we might as well accede to their request now and avoid unnecessary conflict.
Yeah, that's fair.
What complicated considerations? Paimon thought you were just giving it to them out of gratitude to the knave and as an apology to Child.
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I
Alright, about the next stop on my journey.
You'll soon be heading to Natlan, I presume.
Yeah.
I'm afraid that I have little talent as a travel guide, so all I can do is tell you what I know about that land.
Yeah, I want to know some of that.
As far as I'm aware, Natlan can be said to be a nation of dragons.
Really? Okay.
A nation of dragons? You mean like you?
No, I suspect that I would not find myself welcome there. Unlike ancient dragons such as myself, the dragons of Natlan have undergone long years of development and evolution. Large numbers of them have entered a form of coexistence with humanity.
Really? That's fascinating.
Natlan is also the nation of war. War ravages those lands like an undying flame.
Okay.
There is one other piece of information I got incidentally from my negotiations with the Knave that I believe may be useful to you.
Alright.
The Harbinger known as the Captain has thrown his hat into the endless ring of war.
Oh, is that where we're gonna see? Really? I thought we would see him in Snezhnaya. But no, we're gonna... The Captain.
The Captain. Sounds like a real tough customer. Seriously, everywhere you look, there's a Fatui Harbinger doing their thing.
Yeah, that's the point of them.
I suggest that you fully prepare yourself before going to Natlan. In the meantime, Fontaine's doors will always be open to you.
Well, thank you. We'll
Ask
see.
away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
I have no more questions. Huh. So we'll see the Captain, and we'll see war, and we'll see a nation filled with dragons coexisting with people. So these dragons have consciousness then? Kind of like Nivelet and a pep? I don't know. And Devon, too. Because the Vishaps don't really have, like, you know, cognitive function like humans and these sovereigns. And Devon's not a sovereign, but he's a dragon, like, with a consciousness.
When we spoke to Linny earlier, he mentioned that your attitude towards giving away the Gnosis had clearly changed. We guessed that there might be some reason for it that only you were aware of.
Okay.
No wonder the House of the Hearth is the Fatui's intelligence division. They are certainly sharp.
Okay.
So regarding this specific issue, I was just getting ready to share something with you.
Alright.
What is it?
In truth, I exchanged some further words with that lady named Skirk after sending you two back to the surface. It went something like this.
Okay. I'm very interested because we saw so little of Skirk. Okay. You're really giving me suspense here, game.
Well, we're going to head topside to see what's going on. You hurry over soon as well, all right, Nervalet?
What next?
The all-devouring narwhal isn't here, so I'm no longer getting any interference. I can finally catch the scent of your power, what it's made of. It is the authority of the planet's primordial dragons, but with something very similar to a god's curse mixed in. It's quite a novel blend. I'm sure I've encountered something like this before. What was it again?
I do not know what you speak of.
Ah, of course. How could I forget? You should have the remains of the third descender on your person, yes?
Remains of the third descender?
Remains? I've never heard of any such thing.
Huh. According to your parlance, I believe it may be called a gnosis.
Remains of the third descender is the Gnosis. What?
Well, that much is true. After Focalor's divinity faded, she handed her gnosis to me, but I fear I have never heard of it described in the manner that you just did.
The Gnosis are the remains of the third Descender.
I've been training with my master, the Foul, ever since I was young, and I have never returned to the surface since. So most of the information I possess, I got from him. It is
Okay.
only natural for those who are greater than humanity to possess a different sort of common sense, which is why there are so many problems in our attempts to communicate with humans.
Okay.
Regardless, you should probably get rid of objects of misfortune to prevent any disasters from befalling you.
Oh, that's why you got
To
rid of it.
live in itself is a blessing. But once a person dies, the bonds he once had with this world shall all turn to curses.
Interesting.
What do you mean by that?
No need to fret. These are just my personal thoughts, and my reason for no longer wishing to return to the surface.
Okay.
This third Descender you refer to, who are they? And when did they die?
Master never mentioned them to me. Perhaps it just wasn't that important for me to know.
Of course. We get all this lore drop and we don't know
If
anything.
you're interested, though, I could ask him. I'll be sure to pass the answer on to you next time.
Maybe this will be what the interlude is about. The third Descender.
Next time. You believe we will meet again?
I do. Wait. I have a disciple of my own, don't I? He can be the messenger then.
Okay. Third Descender. Their remains are what the Gnosis are. And the Gnosis
That's
connect...
what she told me. Whether it will prove useful or not, I wanted to pass that information on to you.
I wonder if the Foul... What are they? Who are they? It's so interesting.
The third Descender? So that's what the Gnosis actually are. Paimon just thought they looked like chess pieces. How could they be a person's remains?
All the same, assuming that there was no misunderstanding or special metaphor at play, that is what she meant to say.
Huh.
She said that it would bring misfortune and that you should check it, which is why you gave it to the Fatui.
If she speaks the truth, then I would simply be putting Fontaine at unnecessary risk by keeping it here.
Yeah? There's a Descender. She mentioned one of them. I am the fourth Descender. For me, this information means two things. One, that the Gnosis are related to Descenders, and two, that the one who came before me has already died.
I had guessed that you might already be familiar with this concept, but I did not expect you to be one of them. That means that the Gnosis, which are exceedingly element compatible and can even enhance elemental abilities, do indeed come from the third Descender.
Huh. Interesting. Very interesting. So... it would seem that... I'm trying to like rack my brain around what the Gnosis are. I think I was pretty spot on with what I said. They don't actually... They enhance elemental power, like that's it, but they don't give it. They're not the Gnosis aren't the... It's the Archon's authority. They didn't say the Gnosis is what they stole. I don't know. It's hard to say, but I don't know.
I wonder. Does your body also possess similar properties?
Like being able to use elemental powers without a vision. That does sort of count as special compatibility, right?
Yeah.
No, let's not think about this stuff right now. It just feels creepy. Comparing the Traveler to the dead third Descender and all.
Don't worry, I won't die so easily.
That's what you say, but this topic still feels like bad luck. Once Child recovers, let's get some more answers out of him.
Yeah, okay. So it does seem like Interlude will be probably about Child, Skirk, and the
I too
Gnosis.
believe it unwise to make too many blind guesses when information is lacking. The same is true of being at court.
Yeah, you would know.
Whatever the case, it seems like the crisis here in Fontaine's over for now.
Yes. All of Focalor's efforts were for this moment as well.
But she sacrificed end as a god, and she suffered through all those years as a human. Was that really what she wanted?
I suppose that would be the mystery of a god's will.
Can you understand the will of the gods, Neuvillette?
I suspect not.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Once in a while, I too would guess that if wishes were like the clouds in the sky, they will one day return to the earth as raindrops. Life flows like water, and rain is the final answer. The water levels may sometimes tilt one way.
We saw the real Focalor.
The rain falls fairly upon all.
And yet, we will never be able to see her ever again. I really wish we... I don't know. I don't think we'll ever get to see her again, unfortunately. I don't think we'd ever get her as like a playable character or anything.
And what ultimately is the difference between the rains that
Which is
fall
sad.
on all of us?
The only Archon we will never get to play as. But she did. And that is that act complete. I've been recording for a little over 3 hours. Wow. That is insane. Alright. Unlock. Okay. Claim the Little Oceanid. Oh boy. Well, I'll play that next time. This recording is going to be the end for now. But thank you everyone who took the time to watch. I will next be recording for a story quest at some point. Very excited to see what that has to offer. The only thing I can say is that I wish we saw more of Child, and I don't know. That's the main thing, I think. Maybe a bit more of the Knave too throughout this, but oh well. And it seems like maybe like the main thing is I wish I saw more of Child at the end. That would have been cool to see him like fight more. But the cutscene he was in was really cool, and I suspect we'll see more of him in the near future. That's my guess, at least. Not sure, but that's my guess with how that ended. So, thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.